Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? It's us. It is the Some Other Heroes in our wonderful, colourful back at home as well for some of us as well. Um, my name is Chris. I use he/him. I am your dungeon master for this little adventure. I am a geek and illustrator, a general fan of tabletop role player games, and a bit of a storyteller on the side. And I have the absolute joy of heading this lot down a story set in our scattered lands. With me are these fabulous folks, and I will start today with Charlie. That's why I did it. You see? That's fine. Amazing. I think we'll go clockwise as everyone is watching it. We'll move on to Wayne. Thank you for pointing out. Michelle and Luke just pointed out. Apparently, we couldn't hear you. Can you hear them now? Hang on one second. Oh no! Can you hear us now? Yes. No. Oh, that is weird. Hang on one second. One moment, please, callers. Is it because? Da, 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 da. Try again. Can you hear us now? Can you? No. Oh, this is not good. No, because you're all coming through on my computer fine. But this is that's very weird. Because hang on one second, what's going on? Why is that happening? I
It's his
not
moment to
intentionally, I
shine, you
assure
know.
you. Yeah. Hang on. Okay, can you guys hear them on this channel? You have to ignore the fact that poor Michelle's still on my spare one. Right. Okay. I hear voices in a good way. Okay. Right. So there's something wrong with my four-player map. You heard Charlie on the battle map. Okay. Can you hear? Yeah. Can you hear everybody now on this screen? This is a great way to start the show. Yeah. I wonder why that is. Oh, wow. Okay. I have no idea. Bear with me one second. I'm just going to pop you on. Well, actually, I have to keep you on here on watching us as we do tech. Yeah. Bear with me, please. I don't know what's happened. Um, yeah. Okay. Apparently, they heard you on here. Do you want to give yourselves another go? I don't know what happened. So, Wayne, would you like? I've just added you back in. Would you like to say something? Do you know what's so funny about this? I have changed nothing on the setup at all. Nothing at all. Yeah. Right. So I have Wayne's microphone is re-added. Can you guys hear him at all? Okay. Okay. I am right. I'm going to refresh the stream. Bear with us, please. We'll figure out what's. So we'll try and figure out what's going on. Oh boy, indeed.
Do we need to refresh too, or do we just?
I have no idea. But Chris is back. Just
Okay. Right.
good.
So I've got pickup from you all on here now.
Oh, there we go. Apparently we are now hearable.
Do you hear me?
That was very weird.
But God damn it!
But an echo, because I had, I know exactly. I can fix the echo. That one I know how to fix.
Voices but echoes.
Yeah,
Good.
cool. And
We're
can you
doing
hear
very,
sort
very
of like slight chill stuff in the background, like little birds and crickets and things? Might be a little quiet for you guys. Yeah, I
can get that through the stream though.
Awesome. Okay. Hi. We'll start again. Hiya. Charlie, would you like to reintroduce yourself?
Hi. It's probably quite good because Bob was barking last time. Again, I reiterate apologies if my dog decides to join in because there are some other people in my house right now, and she's very excited about that. I am Charlie. I use she, her pronouns. I am also an illustrator and big nerd. And last session was mental and so much fun and amazing. I'm really excited for today. And I play Aisling, the has a demon in her head, slightly Essex-ator.
Amazing. And Wayne, you'd like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Again. I am Wayne. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be playing the ever quiet and polite dragonborn bard Rock today, as we recover and lick our wounds from the battle.
Amazing. And finally, Theo.
Hello, I'm Theo. I use they, them pronouns. I am an illustrator, and I will be playing Eugene, the half-elf wizard.
Excellent stuff. Sorry, I'm just trying to still check on things at the same time. So if I seem a little distracted, it's because I'm trying to host and check tech at the same time.
You need a PA.
I think. Well, we just need to get a little bigger, and then I can hire someone off screen to do this all for us.
Come on, folks, get more subscribers.
Yes, if anyone knows of any sponsorship deals where they will offer us a huge amount of money, that would be most
very important on change.org. Get a PA.
Okay. Right. So. Okay, I don't know why it's echoing because there's only one mic on each person going, so it's clearly.
I don't have anything playing anywhere. I don't even have stream open.
You sound good, Chris.
You sound good. Bye.
Wow. I mean, I was trying to be polite, but.
Okay, right. I think we may have to persevere for a minute. So what's happening? I don't know what's happening. So I have a feeling that the output cable may be creating a small problem. I'm just going to check one more thing.
Yeah, that's all right. We haven't got into the story yet.
No.
It's not like we're in the midst of jumping on the back of a dragon and then jumping off the back of a dragon and jumping back onto the back of a dragon.
Not yet.
Wayne, you said that there was still a bit of an echo.
There was. Well, coming through Twitch, I could hear an echo of myself and Charlie, which I can still hear.
We're just very powerful. We just project our voices.
I don't know what it could be. Has it gone?
No. Jumping.
No, Charlie and myself are still echoing and coming through the actual Twitch feed.
Right. Eugene? Sorry, Theo, you
You are
It's hard to tell the difference, I know.
Yeah, Theo is also echoing.
Wunderbar. I don't know why this is. It is not good. Let's try... Okay, cool. Try that. How does that sound?
Do we still echo?
No, that sounds better. Well, Charlie sounds better.
Aha.
How about you, Wayne? Do you sound better?
Yeah, that sounds like the echo is fixed.
Hooray!
Success.
I mean, apart from the general echo in my empty office room, but
And in my skull.
So the fault is local. I have fixed it. There is absolutely no reason it should have happened. It is,
but it did.
But it did. So we shall carry on.
Thank you, Chris.
Welcome, everyone.
Well done, Chris. You fixed it.
We are Some Other Heroes. We are professional streamers. This has been us. Good night. Okay, so on our last episode, our three friends, as was discussed momentarily ago, finally faced down with the Fey god, the bitter fear of dying in the snow, off the back of the ancient dragon Ironaut, with the help of some unlikely and unexpected allies from Ashling's patron. They were able to stave off Fey forces, do enough damage to the Fey god itself to cause it to fall off the island and smash into the Sky Shield, the mystical barrier that protects the scattered lands from the world below it. There was a strange flash, and the shield stuttered for a moment, causing a slight rumble as you watch the island where Vesherin, the town that you've been protecting, sink momentarily, and then everything seemed to settle out, but certainly enough to give everyone a slight cause for concern. Victorious, you returned to the island to witness the passing of a friend. Parshkik, the ancient, the elder worm, had given his life not only to protect the island from the forces of the Bitter One, but to protect you in a moment of danger. They passed on back to the Astral Sea, gifting you all with a small draconic mark, touching you with a little tiny piece of their power, to say thank you for daring to stand up for these people when others would not. You reconnected with some friends. There was a very cute but very awkward interaction between Eugene and a potential love interest in the equally awkward tiefling wizard Gris. Yes, in these moments of joy and relief, and quite happily seeing some old friends and family members as well, our friend Skia quietly said her goodbyes and stepped onto a ship containing a person from Rock's past. So, to set the scene, on a jetty far from the city, A lone gnome blinks and rubs his eyes.
I forgot about him.
Me too.
He gazes out at the stars above him, and the slow trickle of memories begin to return. Then a stream, and then a flood. He grips his head and the wooden boards beneath him as centuries of life pour back into his mind. With gasping breaths, he draws his knees up under him and curls into a ball. Laughter, tears, rage, numbness. Events relived take their place on his face until after what feels like a whole life to him, but is only a moment to us, he rolls onto his back, panting. Wiping his eyes and mouth, he sits up and then suddenly bounds to his feet, grabbing his pail and moving as fast as he can with joints that have not seen movement for an age. As Bartabas leaves the jetty, fishing gear in hand, he is aware of a difference in the sound around him. Instead of the soft sighing rush of waves, he hears the whipping of wind and a distant chugging of what can only be described as engines? His eyes settle on the edge of the island. Sand falls slowly away and crumbles with nothing to support it any longer. The gnome suddenly sprints faster than he has in his entire life, throwing himself onto the more stable rocks and clay beyond the sandy stretch, and watches in horror as the jetty he built with his father falls away into the sky below. Still panting, he pulls himself up onto the familiar pathway and continues running, beginning to shout as he does. Matey! Matey, my love, someone's stolen the shore! A few hours walk away. He wakes and yawns, scratching himself in a satisfied manner. Momentarily confused by his situation, he sits idly considering how he got to this part of the forest and why. He's suddenly reminded, as with a rustle and a gentle tapping of paws, their friend, a very fluffy grey cat that he has spent his whole life with, lands in front of him from where she had been hiding in the trees. With gentle regard, she flicks her tail and saunters back towards the farm, with only a momentary glance back to check that her person's pup is following her. In Grey Ore, a half-elven man clad in leather awakes inside an inn he's familiar with. Memories flood back and he bolts out of the bed he has been laid on and into the corridor. Other doors open and familiar faces, equally confused, look at him. Below, the voices of more than can be heard murmuring, crying, laughing, asking questions, calling for friends and loved ones. A quick mental count, and he estimates most of the village must be crammed into the inn. Pushing down the narrow stairs, he is greeted by a press of people waking for the first time for centuries. He cannot see his partner right now, or the other peoples he remembers being in the inn with, but he pushes that to the back of his mind for the moment and starts issuing instructions and organising the villagers. All across the island, this last remnant of a lost country, a different time, people are beginning to wake and return. In the town of Vesherin, those that do find themselves surrounded by the sound of music and celebration. Even if it's a little confusing, it feels to them like the sounds of a beginning. And for those who remember what happened to them, it's the first true sign of hope in the longest while. But one figure stands a little way from it, watching a small skiff floating up towards an imperial barge. Brock. In this moment, as you watch your friend Skier flit away on a ship with Sabina Sithin, courtesan of the last emperor, what are your thoughts?
I think Brock is trying to kind of take in everything that's happened because it's all been so quick and so intense that actually he'd never really considered what would happen at the end of this. We were so focused on getting that third option that we were looking for that I hadn't actually considered what happens after that if we win. But he is also a little unnerved by having seen someone that he knew because he's been traveling for a while and didn't really expect to, certainly not out here. But I think that quite quickly kind of dissolves into making sure that his two companions are around and all right. Because he's the bigger issues are a little sort of mind-boggling to think about. So after a few moments, I think he sort of turns to everyone and he'll just be like, "Right, Aisling, Eugene, are you both all right now? I know you had some scratches and things. Are you all okay? You're fine? Yes.
I think so.
Good. Well, I don't know about you, but I could probably do with a drink."
Aisling and Eugene, you can roll me an insight check. And Wayne, what is your deception score?
Deception. My modifier or my actual?
Yeah, your modifier.
Lots. My modifier is a +7.
Excellent. What did Aisling and Eugene roll?
20.
I got a 22, and my modifier for insight is also 7.
Holy crap.
So Rock is definitely trying to downplay it, but whoever that woman was on the skiff shook him momentarily.
Okay, Aisling's gonna. They'll probably exchange a look. I would have thought Eugene and Aisling just be like, "Did you see that?"
What have you got a twitch now?
Probably.
A lot happened.
It's been a bit weird, isn't it? I wouldn't be surprised. Twitch is a pretty good thing to happen, all things considered.
Well, you will go jumping off flying dragons, right? So, should we make our way to somewhere where we can get a drink?
Sounds good.
Good.
Yeah.
Right.
The party is coming to you. More and more people are coming out of the town and joining in and things. There are very tearful greetings and people hugging people that they clearly haven't seen for a long time or been able to interact with. There is a slightly somber for a party in some respects, but there is a quiet, hopeful energy to everybody here. You can see lots of familiar faces. Eugene, your father is standing off to one side as Ivelk, the dwarven woman who you've known your whole life, is standing on the back of a wagon telling people about the things that they did and the people that they destroyed in a big, loud voice, juggling some of those explosive devices a little too casually for most people's taste. You can see Julie and her wonderful carnival of curiosities have all set up camp. Some of them already performing. There's a fire eater already going. The two halfling tumblers are doing their trick where one of them wears a jacket and the other one wears a pair of pants that turns into a jacket. And they are pretending to be different people and telling a small story to a crowd of absolute delighted children who are cheering and whooping.
And Aisling.
I would like to go over and see Julie, but I would also like to keep an eye out for the children who gave me my tail.
Oh, yes. Make a perception check.
Is Rock still wearing the tail?
Oh, yeah.
Better be.
Oh, no, that's
You go down in armor class if you take that off.
He loses one of his draconic gifts.
Yeah, that was a 4. There's a lot of children. They all look alike.
There's a lot going on, to be fair, and it is still quite dark. You estimate it's been a bit jarring because when you were, before this all started, it was mid-morning, and now suddenly it's probably, you would guess, about 3 o'clock in the AM. It's like pitch dark sort of thing. It's like the darkest point of the night.
Ugh.
Well, those children should be in bed then, shouldn't they? Anyway. But yes, I'll keep an eye out for those kids, but I will go over it and then say hello to Julie.
Yeah. She is sitting back. She has a rather bewildered-looking human male in what's looks left to be left of the defender's armor, kind of sitting off to one side, kind of that half-dazed expression that you kind of have come to know from spending time with Julie. Not entirely certain how he got here, but quite pleased he is. He's totally her type. He's very pretty. Anyway.
Yes, but usually not very bright. I'll just walk over and go, Julie, my darling, you came.
My darling rock. And she just grabs you and spins you around and gives you a big old kiss. And then,
I think you broke something.
Much to Eugene and Ashling's delight, she dips him.
Oh, Julie! Wait, stop it! Pick me up! I shall get up and straighten myself and say, don't ever do that again. And then very quietly go, in company.
She laughs and she grabs a bottle of wine and forces it into your hand.
Oh, thank God, somebody with sense.
My darlings, what a day. You are fantastic. I saw the dragon. That was amazing.
Well, I should bloody hope so. It was huge.
You must tell me what you've been up to. Hollywood Jack was about as descriptive as he ever is.
There's quite a lot to get through, so probably a bit later. I think we've got some... my companions are over there, by the way. These are my friends. Then I'll beckon them over.
I think Eugene would have been making his way over.
I will introduce them. I'll say, this is Eugene, who is a very talented magic user and also a completely irrational idiot at times. And this is Aisling, who is a very, very skilled warlock. And also appears to have a small imp infestation. But they are my traveling companions at the moment, and I have to say, quite adept at what they do. Surprisingly so. I know they don't look it, but they're very good, actually.
She bows deeply. I am Julie Deschamps. I am the ringmaster for the Carnival of Curiosities, which you see behind me right now. And she holds out her hand. And probably shakes Ashling's quite firmly with a joyful sort of like tug. And then Eugene, she kind of holds it out for you to kiss.
Yeah, I think Eugene goes to shake it and then is like, wait, should I bow? And then he sort of bows and is like...
Oh, I like this one already.
Sorry,
Julie,
introductions are not my strongest.
Well, aren't you delightful?
He's too young for you. Leave him alone.
They are never too young. They are just inexperienced.
Yes, well, his experience is not up to you. Thank you very much. Anyway, Julie is a friend of mine. I travelled with her and the carnival for quite some time, and they are most adept at...
You was the ringmaster, whilst I was recruiting. That is the truth and the whole truth. This man sells himself far too short, too often, and she just leeches up and tickles the chin scales that you...
I just immediately spotted away. Stop it.
Oh my God, this is so fun. This is great. Carry on.
I told stories with the carnival, and but Julie and her carnival are also most adept at holding their own in a battle, I might add. So they're not just performers, which is why obviously I called for them, because I knew they would come, and they did eventually pitch up to help.
Rock,
but yes,
we've
anyway,
been waiting outside for 2 weeks.
For what?
2 weeks. We've been waiting for something to happen.
For 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Wait. How long have we been gone?
Oh, I don't know. I'd need to ask Perb if I saw him again, but he's around here somewhere. He knows the things. They said something 6 months, maybe?
What? We've been gone for 6 months?
That ain't right.
We've been gone for 6 months.
No, we couldn't be gone
right.
for 6 months.
You have been gone for 6 months, from what I understand. People are very panicked, you know. And then you reach out to us, and suddenly everything is a little better.
Yeah, but it's only been like a few days here.
Yeah, that is a little disconcerting.
Oh no, I want to know that story. I'm presuming it's something to do with the big mountain persons that we blew up.
I would imagine so, or the purple smoke surrounding the island, or the great dragon within it, or one
Just
of these
normal stuff.
ridiculous. As you can see, it's been rather eventful, considering for us it's only been days.
Hang on 1 second. And she kind of grabs a
before you go, I'm going to grab
she grabs a couple of glasses from behind her and uncorks a wine bottle and pours one for Eugene and Aisling.
Nice.
Some stories are best told over wine. If you have the time right now.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to hear some stories. I bet you have some great
No,
stories.
I need to hear your story.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that too.
But now?
Are you pressingly busy right now?
But there's quite a lot of people, and we need to figure out how we're getting away.
Oh, he's so important now. Oh, he can't spend time with his darling Julie. She only risked life and limb to come and save him from himself.
Oh, please, you came because you thought there'd be treasure.
I came because you asked. Darling, I will always come when you ask.
Whatever.
Aisling's going to lean in and be like, are you like his wife?
She absolutely rolls up.
Rock, can I? Did you say that out of my earshot, or would I have heard that?
Oh, fully in your earshot. Tact is not my forte.
Rock will literally just glare at you with that kind of like, don't be ridiculous.
I don't know.
I am afraid I am not man enough to be Rock's wife.
And I'm not brave enough to be anything close to that. Anyway, well, I will come back and tell you the story, but I do think we should probably see if we can find Rebecca and Sothis as well. I think.
Well, go and have some fun. And
can we take the wine though?
Absolutely, darling. You have deserved. You deserve this perfectly.
Oh, fabulous! And I'll grab another bottle from behind her.
And then she just kind of. Eugene, make a dexterity saving throw, please.
What?
6.
There is a playful and it's not meant harmful, and I think if you complain about it, she won't do it again. But there's a little pinch on the buttock as you walk away.
I think he just goes bright red and kind of pretends that it didn't happen, or that he didn't notice that it happened, just because he doesn't know what.
Did I see it?
You didn't.
Did I see it?
However, there is a oi consent, Julie. as you see, Cosgrove of the Many Faces, the changeling orator, is sitting a few seats behind.
I'm going to lean over to Rock and be like, your wife is a right perv.
I'm just going to sigh and shake my head in that long-suffering way. And I'm just going to look back at Julie and just say, not everybody is there for your amusement, dear. Right, come along.
She just winks and lets you go.
And then I shall. I would like to kind of see if I can find Sothis.
Sothis is make a perception check. It's actually probably not as hard to find Sothis as it is two children.
10.
I think that's enough. Sophis is standing, shaking hands with a couple of. Sorry, excuse me 1 moment. Frog in my throat. She's standing talking to a couple of older townsfolk, like a steel-haired pair of humans and a couple of half-elves and things like that, just standing off to one side. And she's just doing the kind of like, I think a lot of people forgot she existed. And I think, moreover, she has been working. A lot of people just need reassurance, and she's the sort of figure that you go to when you want to just understand, and she's just shaking hands and listening and saying things softly. And it's kind of unusual because half dragons don't tend to have the best time with things in general. Dragons are by nature quite mercurial and dangerous. Even when they're friendly, their approach to things is very alien to humanoids. So half dragons are treated with caution, but she seems to be completely accepted by her people, who seem to just kind of regard her with genuine warmth, and like just seeing her seems to raise some of the spirits of people around him.
Does she look like she's sort of not enjoying it, but she's fine, or is she being kind of overwhelmed by people considering what she's just been through?
Make an insight check here. Any of you can make an insight check from where you are.
Yeah, I'll do one as well.
Oh, that's better. 21.
21?
18.
Yep.
15.
15. I think all of you, I mean, you've been in Sothis' head, and that gives you a little bit of familiarity with her as a person. There is a bravery to the face that she is giving. She's being strong for other people right now.
I will, as soon as we get close to her, better check if I can do that still. Yes, I can. I'm going to use my sort of messaging, telepathic messaging, and I'm just going to message to her and just say, do forgive the intrusion, but can I come and save you from that onslaught of peoples?
There's a moment of pause, and she goes, I won't lie, a little bit of a break would be good right now.
I will stride over immediately and pull myself up to my greatest height and just say, I'm terribly sorry, but the lady is needed. Excuse me. And I literally just pull her away from them.
And so there's a moment, oh, look, it's the one that got on the back of the dragon. I think they say that he helped save the day, him and his friends. And there's kind of like a murmur goes through this little tiny crowd of older gossips. I suppose,
there is
probably.
Definitely much sort of reveling in hearing them say that, and Rock does a kind of like, that's, yeah, excuse me, anyway. And then I will grab Sothis and sort of take her off as if we need to have a conversation.
Is everything all right? Are you okay?
Well, I was about to ask you the same thing.
I am bearing up.
Well, yes, that is what one does in these situations, but is there anything we can do to help? I know that you've been through quite a lot as well.
Well, I wouldn't mind one of those. And she points at the glass of wine that Aisling is kind of sloshing around a little bit.
You can have, I've got most of it's left.
Yeah, I have another bottle I took, so help yourself.
She helps herself, and she kind of goes, she's like, not that it does that much, but it certainly helps a little bit to have something to do with one's hands right now. She kind of regards, she goes, I cannot thank you all enough. I really don't know how I'm ever going to thank you all enough. If you ever need anything that I can provide, I will do so. You have saved this, I guess, island now, from what I'm being told.
Yes, it's definitely an island.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, whatever else, you are always welcome here. Anytime.
I mean, I may need a little break, considering that we were kind of
Yeah, you got like
into
a
this,
spa
but
or something.
I'm not certain it's open right now, but there used to be like a hot springs at the outer edge. And she kind of looks back over. No, the hills are still there. So yes, it must still be there. There's a lot to take in here. I believe you have. Is there anybody in charge that I need to talk to
of
this area, this region? Your boss, maybe? I don't know.
Well, yes, that the person who sort of hired us to come and do this would be one of the people to speak to. But I mean, the scattered lands is kind of There are different groups politically.
Pretty scattered.
But
some things don't change, I suppose.
But where we have just come from is Cloud's Cairn, and it's a fairly diverse grouping of islands that sort of stick together. And so, yes, I think perhaps Rebecca, who sent us, might be. It was Rebecca, wasn't it?
Rebecca Ryder.
Yeah, would probably be one of the people to speak to. Although I would imagine that you will probably be contacted by people from all of the political persuasions now that you are essentially a free-floating island with currently no ties to anywhere, literally.
She thinks on this for a second. She goes, well, I suppose resources must be a problem for some people.
Yes. I mean, I think perhaps you'll have to really evaluate who you want to ally yourself with, because the Empire is most certainly the most stable and has access to probably the most resources, but is also very much a restrictive empire that would sort of want you to become part of them and behave as they do and follow their laws. But your people may need a bit of stability and boredom for a while.
I think you say this as two familiar children run screaming past, one of them shouting, I'm a dragon! I'm a dragon! I'm going to get you!
It's the same kids, yeah?
It is the little girl and the young elf that you saw before chasing down the older yellow dragonborn who is stomping around going, I am a god, I'm going to destroy everything.
But it's not the one who gave me my tail.
Trauma real quick.
The elf was the one that gave you the tail.
It was. I'm literally just going to put my finger up to serve this and just go, 1 second, and then yell after him and go, you there! And as soon as they look over, I'm just going to pull the rope from behind me and say, I've still got it, it helped, and then carry him back. Anyway.
There is a whooping cheer from the elf and his human friend. The dragon-born child looks a little confused, and then the little one kind of does that whole sort of mock, like, adult tone. I'll explain it when you're older.
A child after my own heart. Yes, so yes, I suspect you'll have to decide which of these sort of political entities to ally yourself with. But Cloud's Cairn is fairly diverse in terms of who travels and belongs to this kind of area. So that wouldn't be a bad place to start. But Eugene's family may know who you could speak to also. I do think you're going to have rather a lot to catch up on and figure out.
I'm going to have to put together a council of my own, I think. Previously, it was just me and the Crown. And obviously my local town's garden and like as well helped me. But I think maybe I need to put together a small representative council of people.
We have met some very capable people that, well, I mean, we haven't known them for very long, to be fair, but there are some people that we could possibly sort of recommend.
I will take any names I can. It'd be lovely to meet them. Anyone who helped you get to where we are deserves recognition for their part in what happened here.
Well, there was Riskrith, who was essentially keeping people safe in one of the taverns that we took refuge in. There was also the wizard, what's his name? Ambergris, that was it.
Amberdrew.
That's
yes.
the one.
Yes.
Something. And then there was what's the name of that child that helped you, Eugene?
Who are you talking about?
The other bookish one, the one that did the magic thing. What's his name?
He's not a child. He's older than me.
Well, he looks
So
like a
I
child.
was going to suggest that he would be a good candidate. He's very smart. His name's Gris.
Oh, Ambridrew's apprentice.
Yes.
Interesting. Excellent. Well, Riskarif, the name is known to me, if not the Dragonborn in person. I've met her wife a few times.
Yes.
Ambridrew, of course, intelligent check. Ambridrew, a smart man. And you say Greece is living up to his expectations, then those are...
Well,
he's definitely...
It's all right.
He made a magic stone.
Yeah, he protected everyone in the tavern. He figured out how to...
Well.
Well, I mean, they were kind of stuck in the tavern, and he did some magic stuff. I mean, he's, I think he'll be all right. But
I think so. This is kind of a little perplexed, kind of like this to and from, with like two people bigging Gris up, and one's like trying to dismiss him a little bit. And
well, no, he seems very capable. I mean, one day, but who else did we run into? Anyone else that's worth mentioning?
Did you guys meet Valinar? She actually, the ranger. I think you did.
Yeah,
we did
briefly.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't exactly vouch for them, but we did meet them.
Skier seemed to think that they were a good person.
Oh, that's true.
I trust Skier's judgment.
Well, yes, if Skier sort of trusted them, then I would definitely say they should join.
Valinar's head of was one of the heads of the Rangers. They wanted to be interested. Actually, Rangers would be a good people. This is all very useful. Thank you. And she kind of just pulls out a small notebook and jots the names down.
Ashleen's going to lean towards her notebook a bit and be like, "We met a great dog as well.
Yes.
Just put them on the...
We did say we'd go back and see if the dog was all right.
Yeah, so I think, great dog."
Well, I think you possibly don't need to worry too much, she said. I think most people are recovering fine. I mean, my memories all came back. I've got a bit of a headache right now, hence wanted to take a little edge off. Yes, how are you all? Did you lose anything at all whilst you were here?
Well, apparently 6 months.
Oh, you were here 6 months?
What's that about?
Apparently so.
This is why you don't mess with Fey gods. The AL, everything about them's bad.
To be fair, that as a general rule, I think the Scattered Lands would agree with you on that one. But it was a bit of an accident.
True, and it's not anybody's fault, but definitely, if ever inclined to have to deal with AL, I would run the other way.
Well, we would have, except we couldn't get off the bloody island.
That's a good point. Does Eugene have his memories back properly?
He does. Yeah, they probably popped back in a little while ago. If you noticed or not, it was probably down to how busy you were at the time. You were a little distracted.
You were a bit busy.
But yes, I think now you think on it, you can remember the whole of those two memories that came back, and I think they're kind of a bit rawer than they have been for a while because they were absent for a while. It seems killing the Fae, killing the AL, has returned everyone what it had consumed from everyone. So, which one's Rebecca Ryder? Because I have to admit, there's a lot of very fierce-looking women.
Well, surprisingly,
Great, isn't it?
She's that one over there in the armour. Apparently, I thought she was just a politician, but apparently she's quite the fighter.
Huh. Rebecca Ryder, you say?
That's the one, yes.
Huh.
Oh, don't tell me you know her.
Yes, I do.
Is she your wife?
How?
How?
That is Aradin the Bright.
Huh?
Who?
Who that?
Say what now?
When you are a tactfully, when you are half elder being of any kind, you have a tendency to notice those around you. Aradin was a folk hero in my time. Traveled through my town a few times when she was becoming a bit of a name, but we hadn't seen her for a long time before, well, all this happened. That woman is a lot older than she pretends to be.
Wait, so she is actually the folk hero from 500 years ago?
Yes.
What?
I would ask her about that. I mean, I'm sure she's...
Oh, I will.
Yes, but I think she can probably thank her mother for that, from what I understand.
Is her
Well,
mum?
Well,
Mrs. Aradin?
if rumor is correct, her mother might be sister son.
The sister son.
Sorry, what? She's a demigod.
Allegedly.
To be fair,
At the very least, she is... do you know the term Asima?
yes. I mean, that's all the more reason to ally with her, quite frankly.
Well, I
mean,
know
that's-
her. I trust her judgment, or used to. I don't... Obviously, if you're saying it's been 5 centuries, I don't know what she's gone through since then.
I mean, she does seem to be on the level. And as I say, I do respect the fact that she's not just a lip service politician and actually came out to help when needed. Which is more than I can say for a lot of politicians and rulers. But, right, mother, right, so it's this son. Okay, good, right, okay, well, yeah, that's par for the course this week, I suppose.
It seems that you have some very powerful friends.
I mean, it'd be quite
Not
nice.
on purpose.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they told us that, but yes, apparently so.
Well, you can consider me among them. And, I better go and introduce myself to Rebecca.
Nah.
And she gives you all a nod. You don't need to follow me for this, but if you don't want to. And she wanders up.
I mean, I will just let her go, but unless she has the wine, in which case I'll stop her. Take the wine.
No, she just took the glass, not the bottle.
You sprint after her.
Why?
Wait! You secretly Bernard Black.
As I fall to my knees like that.
Cannon.
No, she took the wine.
So she wanders up, and you can see that there's a tense exchange, but a bit of a stilted one, and they seem to start chatting and talking a little bit. While she does that, you see that there is actually somebody else standing next to Rebecca who takes that moment to politely disengage himself and slightly saunter over to your position, and there is a older looking gnome with wispy silver hair that is relatively unkempt, a big ruddy nose, wearing some quite elegant looking robes. And Eugene, you recognize them straight away. This is Tathic Perb, Uncle Perb to you.
Aww.
Uncle!
He just saunters up, like quite casually, and then just kind of goes, Eugene, my boy, come down here and give me a hug.
He does. Yeah.
Very proud of you.
Thank you. Well, I learned from the best, clearly.
Well, your mother is here.
Rock obviously thinks you're talking about him.
Let me introduce you to my friends. This is Rock and Aisling. This is my uncle.
It's lovely to meet you. Aisling, I don't think you know who this is, but Rock, Tathic Perb's name is completely tied together with the Bright Blades. He is as famous as Eugene's father.
I shall bow elaborately and just say, "Oh, I've heard many great things about you. Most of all from Eugene, to be fair."
Oh, don't worry about bowing and things like that. It's not my sort of style at all. I have heard very good things about all three of you, I have to admit.
From who?
My friend Dietry does keep me informed of your little exploits.
Ah, yes. Well, Dietry is nothing if not informed.
You don't actually know the half of that, young
Oh, I
Rock.
think I'd probably rather not know. But yes, it's very nice to meet you.
So, a god. That'll get you a reputation quickly.
Yeah, that was something.
Looking to outdo your old man, are you? Quickly? And I think this is a playful jab, but it's not. There's no weight behind it at all.
Rock very quickly will just say, "Oh, I think he did that a while ago."
Oh, I like this one. So, what is next for you three?
I want a nap.
Yeah, to be honest,
Sandwich.
What do we do now?
well, I'd quite like a sit down. My feet are killing me again.
I think you go and get your reward, which you are definitely due.
Oh, yes, perhaps sit down after that.
Well, I am going to make my way back to Cloud's Cairn after we have settled a little bit of this. I'm heading back with Rebecca Ryder and her party. There is more than enough room on the ship if you wish to come. Even if not, when you do get back to Cloud's Cairn, come and find me at my mansion house. I have a present for you all.
Oh,
cool.
That's very kind. Do we have another way of getting back? I don't think we do, really, do we?
Well, I understand
another spare
you know
dragon?
Julie Deshan. I'm sure she can convince to drop you off. You might not get there in time, but eventually.
I'm not sure Cloud's Cairn is ready for another visit from Julie, quite right. But yes, I'm sure we'll find a way back, which I assume we're going back. I mean, we have to go back to get our reward.
Oh, we'll get a present.
And a present, yes, of course. I'm just going
what happened to
It's not cheese, Aisling.
It might be. Who knows? What happened to the crew of the Dragonfly? Did they come to?
They're still here. I mean, the crew of the Dragonfly were not as involved directly. They literally just drop people off.
Okay.
And do it. Odd Bob is probably the only one you can see around at the moment who's talking to. Seems to have struck quite a friendship with Tur, the gnoll that you met. She seems to. Her ears are a bit flat against her skull, and she looks very uncomfortable. There's a lot of people about, but she's standing probably about a foot away from him at any given time, and he just kind of leans over every once in a while and reassures her from where you are. She's slowly relaxing, and they are talking to Marug, who is there leaning on the biggest greatsword you have ever seen.
Yes.
I think Rock would very much just kind of do the sort of forced social stuff and wander around sort of saying hello to everybody and thanking them for helping and sort of like just going from one to the other, feeling like he's doing his duty to make sure everyone is well thanked and greeted. And
Aisling's doing the opposite. She sits cross-legged where she's standing and drinks her wine.
Whilst they're kind of doing their thing, Uncle Perb just kind of grabs your attention for a second, Eugene, and goes, "My deepest apologies. I have not been able to get back to you sooner. There are a number of things happening at the moment, and I will fill you in with what I can as soon as I'm able to, my dear boy. But for now, just enjoy yourself. I think your mother would like a word when you have a second."
Yeah, I have a feeling she has a few words to say about me doing stupid unnecessary things.
Yes, you also might want to rescue your young tiefling from her at some point as well.
Oh my god, no! And he starts to look around for her immediately.
Eugene is a baby.
You do see your mother talking to a very familiar-looking grey tiefling who is quite engaged and seems to be sharing some ideas and theories and things like that with her. You know your mother well enough to know she has this very disarming charm when she needs it, and he possibly hasn't realised who she is yet. It's just this really nice moon elf who seems to be taking an active interest in him.
Yeah, I think he will like turn to his uncle and just say, I really want to catch up about but I think
if not here, come and meet me at the mansion. We'll have a proper catch up.
Yes. I'm gonna go.
Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, and he's gonna rush over. And
I think as you approach, you hear Chris go, and the practical applications mean that you can then put this spell on people, which protects them from the effects of Fey. Which is, well, you're very clever. That's I haven't seen this kind of magic for quite some time. And here's Eugene. Hello, darling.
Hi, Mum. How are you?
At the mention of Mum, Chris goes bolt upright. Oh my goodness! I didn't realise you're Eugene's mum. Wow. May I just say, now I can see it, and it completely makes sense. And I'm talking too much again, aren't I? I'm making this really awkward, aren't I, Eugene? Yeah.
No. Mum, can I have a word?
Certainly, dear. Don't go anywhere, Grease. I'm just enjoying our chat. And she winks and walks away, and Grease just looks pale.
I think he's just going to kind of whisper as he's walking away, you can absolutely go somewhere.
I think I hear my mentor calling me.
Hi, I see you met Grease, my friend Grease.
Oh, Grease is very sweet. He's also very intelligent, has a lot to say, very positive about you, glowing almost. So, dragons.
Yes, let's talk about the dragon.
Let's talk about the dragons, shall we?
Is that like talking about the elephant in the room?
That's like getting the subject changed.
I think whilst these guys are talking, I'm still sitting cross-legged, but I'm slowly shuffling over just to hear a little bit more.
Try and make a stealth check to see if you get away with
it. Do I notice? Can I roll a perception check?
Oh no! Yeah. Oh, bitch ain't stealthy.
I mean, I ain't perceptive, so
10.
Oh, I got a 14.
There you go.
You notice, and I think your mother notices as well. And I kind of, you just kind of turn and look at Aisling for a moment. So, I think for Eugene's mother, she's a full-blooded elf. So her characteristics are probably don't look much older than Eugene's, even though she has an air or of agelessness around her. Her skin is a deep lilac. Her hair, like a silvery blonde that kind of goes down, is tied behind her in a sharp braid. She's not wearing any armor, but she has the energy of a fencer about her and has a large rapier tied to one side, which I'm not entirely certain, but seems to hum whenever she touches it.
Your mum is so cool.
Now, when I said there were risks that you should and shouldn't take as an adventurer, and your father said you should be brave, which of us should you have listened to?
you. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do things like that again. Like, you. I don't know what I would do if anything happened to you. And she just reaches out, but just kind of touches your cheek. I am very proud of you and for letting your father have a moment to realize what he's been like.
I'm really sorry about the dragon thing. I definitely didn't think it through, and believe me, I will not be doing that again.
It's a good thing that you had your friends with you, and that's why you should always keep your friends close.
Yeah.
Hey, and she goes, hey, this is not telling off. This is a motherly concern thing.
Okay.
You are not in trouble by any stretch of the imagination. You are brilliant. Your sister is going to be very jealous, and I'm going to have to live with that. So you can apologize. You have to apologize.
Make sure
for
you
anything.
tell her all of
Yes.
the things, the details.
I'm not going to have to. Your father is going to bore the whole island.
But please, could you maybe just not tell her about the wizard? Maybe?
Well, the young man who's definitely coming back with you one time so that we can meet him properly.
Maybe maybe just leave that part out when you tell Evelyn.
It's your news to tell.
Okay.
He's very nice.
Yeah, he is nice.
Yeah. Yes, I know it's obviously very new, so just enjoy it. Okay. But your mother likes him. Your father hasn't figured it out yet.
Well, no, he'd need a giant neon sign.
Likely. Right. Well, I don't want to keep you from your friends, but what I said before is true. We would like to see you. I think your father would like to have a chance to spend some quality time with you. So when you've sorted everything out, please do pop back to the farm for a little while.
Okay.
So,
I can't stay too long.
No, just for a day or two. That's no problem. I'm sure your friends can manage to get themselves in trouble without you.
Yeah, Aisling definitely could.
Is that the one who's sneaking towards me ever so slowly?
Yeah, I think she thinks that we don't notice.
Yeah. It's endearing, really. Well, go and have some fun. We will be heading back with the Dragonfly a little bit later. Hopefully without your father being too drunk, because he's got chores to do tomorrow.
Do I see him right now? What's he doing?
He and Ivyok and a couple of the soldiers from the siege are starting to sing old war songs. Your Auntie Ivyok is, of course, the loudest and leading the way, and is the worst influence on your father in the best sort of always makes you smile kind of way.
Yeah, it sounds to me like he's going to be hungover, Mum.
Well, that's his problem, not mine.
That's true.
She just leans down and gives you a little kiss on your head, and then go and see your friends. Go and be the hero. Everyone wants to talk to you.
I'm not good at this part.
You'll get better. It takes time.
Thanks. And he'll sort of wander back to the group.
Yeah. Is there anybody else that you would like to interact with?
Well, I definitely want to find Orihim before he disappears.
Orihim is with the other adventurers. They are now. He's still. I suppose everybody else is celebrating and settling down and stuff like that. He's actually still wandering through, just kind of checking a few bandage wounds and stuff like that, helping a few people out and things like that. I think there's a lot of confusion. Tortles are rare, and it does feel like this town has never seen one before. So there's a few people, and at one point, you kind of, as you're kind of sauntering up, two familiar children who seem to be getting everywhere at the moment are asking him a barrage of questions, of which he seems to be, in his very slow and ploddy way, is answering to their satisfaction as they kind of following him. Actually, one of them is trying to do what he's doing with the bandaging and stuff. These kids are completely surrounded by lots of influences and a very exciting time of their life. So,
God, they haven't seen anything yet. I cannot remember her name, but the woman who was running the first tavern that we actually met, Gree, that's the one. Yeah. I mean, I would just probably want to just check in with those people and check, just so that they kind of know, that we have thought of them.
She is happily glowing as you sort of approach what was left of the cart that they bought that was on fire when you last saw it. She's broken open a cask and is talking to. She's basically just set up shop, being made a makeshift bar for people. And she waves enthusiastically as you approach. And at the same time, I think you kind of see the family that were also there just behind her. Kind of the two teenagers are kind of having a chat and things like that, and can't see Riskarith at the moment. But you probably get the impression that she's gone to find her family.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think she'd be with her wife, wouldn't she? I think, once I'd kind of just said hello and made sure those people are kind of okay and at least are not freaking out, I would then make my way back to Eugene and Aisling.
I think there's conversation. I think you get the impression of talking to them that they're kind of at that point where they're beyond freaked out. Like they've been freaked out for so long that it's like, okay, it's another thing. We'll deal with that too. Yeah. At some point, there's going to be for a lot of these people who are aware through the whole thing, there's going to be a point where the dam breaks and they're going to have to deal with it. But for now, they're like, okay, I can deal with this. This is fine.
We need a shipment of therapists to this island right now.
Totally. And I think Rock would just kind of leave them and walk back to Aisling and Eugene. Probably doing a very typical of Rock, kind of like chatting to them and going, and then turning around to walk back to everyone and going, oh. And then walking back to Eugene.
That's me at every networking event ever.
Yeah, I know. There is nothing of me in Rock at all, obviously.
No, we don't project here
no, not
at
at all.
Some other heroes.
And just walk back to Eugene and Aisling and just go, okay, I'm done with people now. What's the plan?
Sandwiches and more wine.
I'm with you on that plan, but at some point we probably need to head back.
My feet hurt, and I don't have feet.
Well, imagine if you were my age.
Yeah.
Anyway, Eugene, you're in charge. What are we doing?
But I'm not actually in charge, right? That was just a. Why did you say that?
Say what?
That I was in charge when you were talking.
You're in charge.
Well, you certainly seemed to be in charge when I was
You're the smart one.
watching you jump off a dragon. Besides, I think your family need to know how capable you are.
Okay, that's nice, and I appreciate that, but I don't think I am actually capable of being in charge. Do we need someone to be in charge?
But we don't need someone to actually be in charge.
I thought we were just, what's
winging
the word?
Yeah, well, yes, I think winging it is probably closest to the truth. But yes, but no, you don't have to be in charge. But
okay, good.
Unless you want to be in charge.
No.
But I am still telling everyone you're in charge, especially your family.
Yeah, we've got to rub that in with them.
I guess that's okay. Well, not everyone. What if people come to me when they have problems.
The question I've got for you all, says Marak as he's kind of wandering over, is do you have a name? Because you're going to be in demand from now on in.
His name's Eugene.
Yeah,
Your
it's
group
Eugene.
name.
Oh, good lord.
God.
No.
Start writing down ideas.
Oh.
None of them are appropriate.
I think we're going to have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a sort of, oh, look, there's a name we know.
I know who you are, and I'm not that bothered one way or the other, but Dietrich is totally going to be bothering you about that now.
Yeah, we'll come back to that after we've had a sit down and a few more drinks.
You need to sit down and like... By the way, proud of each and every one of you. Stand-up members of the guild.
Well, I did tell you we were very capable.
And now I have proof. But I will catch up with you properly. You look like you all could do with a rest. And a few more drinks. He kind of reaches out and just picks a bit of dry blood off of your tunic. You look like you've been through the war.
Literally.
Just in case you'd missed it, we literally killed a god.
I saw.
Good. I'm assuming our rates have gone up then?
Very much so. But the jobs may get a little more risky from here on in.
What?
Well, we do appear to have, in the space of a few weeks, we appear to have gone from rats to killing an elder god. So I'm not entirely sure how much bigger that can get.
An elder rat god?
I was going to say that. Yes.
No.
Speaking of which, did you do anything to the rats? They're helpful around the Adventurers Guild.
We did have a conversation with the monarch, yes.
That I'm going to put a pin in that one. We'll have a discussion about that at another time. Right now, go and enjoy yourselves. I will leave you to your evening.
Good. Right.
At some point, when everyone's kind of doing their own thing, I think Eugene will try and find Julie.
Julie?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. She is very easy to find. She is always at the center of her carnival or on the edge. At some point, they are set up they are putting on like something of an impromptu performance. And as you get closer, you realize they're kind of retelling the battle that just happened. Or it's almost like they're testing it out a little bit. To kind of figure out all the kinks and things and who's going to do what. But you kind of get the impression that the next performance they have will be your story.
I think as he's kind of going towards them, he's like looking and he sees Julie, and then he kind of like steals himself a little bit and drinks the rest of his wine, and then like very purposefully walks over. I'm sorry to bother you, but I
you are never a bother, my friend. Welcome. What do you need?
Well, I was just hoping he's just gonna kind of sit next to her and get a bit like comfy. I was just wanting to talk. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna get to the point. I'd like to ask you about Rock. It's just it's occurred to me in the last few days that I don't really know
has our pale dragonborn won you over? Are you besotted with our Rock?
Oh no! I mean,
she just laughs. My darling, there are things that you must know in the world. Some people have histories that they do not want to drag up easily.
This is why I wanted to speak to you, because I know he's a very private person, and I don't want to offend him. And it doesn't matter to me what events were in his past. It just, I don't know, it seems that he's very closed. And I don't know if that's the way he likes it and he wants it. And if that is, then that's fine. But he's my friend, and I feel bad that I don't know more about him.
It is not my story to tell.
Oh yeah, I don't want you to tell me his story. I guess what I wanted to know is, like, should I ask him?
A friend should always ask what a friend is going through, but I will put your mind at ease this way. The Rock you know is who he really is. It is who he always wanted to be, and though he is still very private, he has a heart as big as the sun. And I know that he keeps you, and she just gently holds your hand, and Ashling very close to it. So even when he is giving you a hard time, you must give that back to him, by the way. He appreciates it when you give him a hard time, too. He loves the pair of you already. I can see it in the way that he responds to you both. He will tell you his history when he is ready. And he will.
Okay.
He just needs some time.
Yeah, okay. I mean, this is kind of what I thought, but to be honest, I've never really had real friends. I mean,
now you have a world full of them.
Yeah, it's kind of overwhelming, honestly. And I want to do things the right way.
Right, you have asked the question, and I have given the answer I can. You can ask Rock, and he will tell you what he needs to. But he will come around eventually, I'm sure.
But if you have any juicy carnival stories, I'd love to hear them.
Oh, my darling, have you heard about the one where he accidentally seduced a female ogre?
No, but I would love to hear it.
Oh, we need 2 glasses and no interruptions for 10 minutes while I recount the wooing of Urga, the mighty. And she proceeds to tell you a story that's probably a little saucier in the details than it actually was, about how Rock accidentally led on and nearly was killed by a clan of ogres for charming the daughter of the chieftain without meaning to. And it's actually, she's definitely a storyteller, and there are elements of it you think are definitely embellished. But the crux of it is Rock, being much younger and much less experienced, knew that they were a difficult crowd and tried to charm her as the most friendly. Without realizing it, he accidentally nearly got himself engaged. And then had to back out of it in the worst possible way. There's a series of comedy of errors almost happens. A particularly funny and not entirely believable scene in which he had to hide in a bog for nearly half a day with using a straw. Before Julie and the carnival actually managed to find him and whisk him away, and that is why we can never go back to the Island of Stone.
Amazing. Thank you.
My pleasure. I'm sure he's going to be delighted that I told you that story.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see the look on his face.
Just say Islands of Stone, and you'll see him go a paler shade of white.
I'll save that one for when he's next giving me a hard time.
Exactly. Well, anytime I can help, my darling, you just let me know. Ashling, Orhim and you have a bit of a catch up, and he promises to see you properly in Klaus Kern. He's going to go back with the Adventurers Guild on the the Swallow's Envy, which is also here. But yes, I would like to hear what happened. I would like to catch up, and if there's anything I can do to help the three of you, I would like to do so.
Oh, that would be well good, because there's so many good stories. There was so much that happened. There was jumping off dragons. There was fire at some point. It was ice everywhere. There was these little elemental things. I'm going to stop because you just said you need to go. And I know I'm just going to keep telling you all the things. But when
would be back at
up,
the Adventurers Guild for a week.
Okay, well, I want to learn how you did some of that bandaging stuff.
I can show you.
Okay, cool. Okay. Thanks, Orahim.
And he gives you a hug.
Yeah.
And then trundles off. And followed by two voices, one of them going, "Can you pull your head inside your shell?" "Yes, I can." "Is it dark in there?" "Yes, it is." "Why do you do that then?" "It keeps me safe."
I love him so much.
Rock, is there anyone that you particularly wanted to talk to?
No, I think I have pretty much. I think just when Eugene and sort of Ashling are ready to, I would probably try and speak to Rebecca. But I would do that with them, I think.
I think at some point the three of you are sitting together. Possibly Greece has managed to kind of come back and is just kind of sitting quietly with the three of you, feeling a little safer and more comfortable in your company than everything else that's going on.
Must he?
And it's very reserved. It kind of doesn't engage unless Eugene kind of like does first. So it's all very sweet and kind of like, how do we do this? And Rebecca does come to you at a point where she thinks you're quiet. And she does look very different. All her hair is all tied back. She looks like she was actually in the middle of the fight, as opposed to just ordering people. There's actually tarnish on her armor, and you can see she's kind of cleared something off, probably something viscous or something that came from one of the creatures that she was fighting. And she kind of wanders up. She goes, as you understand, she holds her hand up and she just plonks herself down on a stone next to you.
Nice. My energy. I like it. I sit down next to her.
I'm not going to make you stand. You have been through more than most.
Before you start, quick question.
Yes.
Someone mentioned that we left 6 months ago.
You did. And for a frightening couple of moments, we thought we had lost you entirely. When Bill...
what's that about, though? 6 months?
It's only been days for us, and to be honest...
it's not been that long ago.
Pardon my language, weird fae stuff.
No, that's fair. We are weird.
Yes, well, anyway, so we probably have a bit of stuff to figure out when we get back, but... But it was very good of you to join us in battle with a god.
I have to admit, I was not expecting to see one of those when the smoke cleared. I wasn't entirely certain what we were facing, but I have to admit that was terrifying.
Yes, it was all a little... it was quite a lot, to be honest.
Indeed, yes.
But, apparently... demigods pop up all over the place these days.
I'm not a demigod, but I am older than I look.
So I hear.
Yeah, what's that about?
So that would be Sothis, then, I imagine. I did. As soon as I saw her, I thought she would remember me.
Well, I could say it wasn't anything untoward. It was more just that she recognized you, which was obviously unusual for us, considering the island's been hidden for over 500 years. So, is this common knowledge amongst the people who work for you?
I don't hide it, but Rebecca was the name my mother, so my father gave me, and so I chose to go back to that. I didn't think the world needed demigods or whatever, or half elder beings telling them what to do. So I just set myself up in a place that needed me, and I made myself a servant of the people that look up to me. The ascension was a difficult time, and you can understand we lost a lot.
Yes.
So rebuilding was the only thing that brought me joy. And then I found myself, a mayor of a city and a region, no less.
And potentially a new island now, I would assume.
There'll be some conversations about that. And I think Sothis would very much like the three of you to not negotiate for her, but be a sounding board, neutral party who has nothing. You don't have to be involved in politics. Just listen to what she says. I think is probably the best thing. Just make sure that none of us are trying to rip them off.
Well, you're all politicians. You're all trying to rip her off.
I hope not. I'm hoping I can just provide her the protection that her people actually need, and in return, we will make sure that trade flows from this island out into the world.
I think they're going to need.
We don't want them to be freed from this and then run out of food tomorrow.
Exactly, but they seem to have good farmland and capable farmers, which is a good start.
Well, at the last time we saw the farmers, they were all just standing in the field, so I'm not entirely sure we can vouch for them, but they seem to be...
I mean, to be fair, the crops looked fine.
Yeah, the ground looked great. But,
as for ground that you have seen before.
Yes!
I mean, there was ground. And
yes,
there were things,
this is dirt.
Yeah, there were things growing out of it that seemed to be edible. So I suppose it's fine. I don't know. But yes, we will, of course, make ourselves available, although I can't necessarily say that personally I could really give much advice. Certainly not unbiased advice. But
I just think they're going to have a lot of people knocking on their door, and I think I would feel comfortable, and I know Sothis would feel comfortable, just having a few people that don't have anything in this race.
Well, that makes sense.
We're happy to pop back after a bit of a break from the weird island.
Which reminds me, if you wish to come back on my vessel, you are very welcome. It is the fastest, possibly other than the Dragonfly and the Swallow's Envy, but it's certainly a nice trip back. You can avail yourself of my hospitality if you wish.
I'm just going to whisper to Aisling and say, that means free cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll do that.
If my companions are happy with that, we can leave whenever we are ready. I mean, I don't need to hang about, really.
Well, I'm going to give my men a chance to celebrate. And then their captains have been told to round them up, sore heads or no, in the morning. We'll
Fair enough.
Going then. So enjoy yourself. And she kind of flicks an eye probably to Greece. She goes, and enjoy your company and say hello. Make sure you spend some time with your friends.
Sorry.
I saw that too. Plus cat.
That's
He
such
loves to chew these ones.
Oh, yeah.
And it will only take him a second.
That's what I was
It won't be
saying.
long.
Every cat parent watching is like, oh, I feel you.
Did you see me
Yeah.
have to prise his mouth open?
Yeah. But I loved the way it went from oh, I'm being all affectionate, being so cute and cuddly, and anyway.
Yes.
Sorry, everyone.
Yes, I mean,
No, it's
I
fine.
think I will just stay and hang around with my companions, really.
So, Eugene, I think there's a moment where Gris is. So, you need to head back to Cloud's Cairn in the morning.
Yeah, we have to do a lot of formal things, I think. Getting
Right.
rewards and that, adventurous stuff, I guess.
I mean, and I probably need to stay here for a little bit, but once things are settled, maybe I could come to Cloud's Cairn to see you.
Yeah. Oh, I can come visit you here. Like,
That would be really nice. They're talking about. So I've heard soldiers talking about putting up a temporary airport, or something, air harbor, or I don't
wait,
know.
have you ever been in a skyship before?
No, I mean, my time we had them, but they were a rare thing, and yeah, quite expensive, like more than
Oh,
an
they're so
apprentice
cool.
earns.
That's so cool.
I mean, there were so many
How do you
of them
feel about
too.
heights?
Heights are not the problem. I don't like the idea of falling, but I'm sure that they're safe, right?
Yeah.
Generally, okay.
Is this happening within earshot of Rock?
I think Gris is comfortable with all three of you, so
No, Rock, leave them
I'm
alone.
not going to interfere or anything, but when he talks about the airships with them being safe and stuff, I'm just going to say, oh, there's very few people who die every week. It's perfectly fine.
He's teasing you.
Okay, I thought
I'm gonna smack Rock on the arm, like, stop it.
It's true. People do die.
Very rarely.
Fairly often.
Stop it.
I mean, imagine people do still fall off on that, but if you're sensible and the vehicle itself is sound, then in principle, that it should be relatively safe. I mean,
It's safer
yes.
than flying on a dragon.
farmers get killed by cows that they don't control all the time, and nobody really talks about that. Did you not know about that?
No.
That statistically, farmers' death by cow, quite common.
Oh, what a gripping story.
I hope you don't mind, but so she was asking about forming a team of people to like a council, and I sort of might have suggested you. You can definitely say no, but I thought you'd be good at it.
I don't know how I could help, but I can ask. I think. Oh wow, that sounds like. I mean, I'd need to talk to Enchanter Amberdrew and just check, because obviously, I mean, oh god, I'm going to start learning again. I haven't learned for 500 years. What's that? Oh, my brain's going to be mush.
Imagine all the books you've missed out on.
Imagine all the books. There might be books that we have that you people haven't seen for a long time.
That's true.
That's exciting, and I think they descend.
You should start a library.
I'm just going to look at Aisling and go.
You should start a big library, and then people can come to Vesherin and learn old stuff.
Yes, that's an amazing. I'm going to put that to. I'm going to jot things down.
See,
and
I told you you'd be good at it.
That can be. I can start forming that, and we can start putting our knowledge together, and that's brilliant. Thank you.
Oh my god, the world has literally opened up to you, and your first suggestion is let's open a library.
What's wrong with that, Rock?
Libraries are important.
They're incredibly
they
important.
are very important, as are books and stories, but the entire world has opened up. Do not stay in a library.
I just watched two ancient dragons fight an elder god, I'm kind of good for excitement right now.
That does make sense, though. Yeah.
But once I have got my head round that, and Cloud's Kern is a really great place to start.
It's not a very nice place. I wouldn't bother.
He's teasing me again, isn't he? Clearly.
Well, it's very dangerous. There's a lot of crime, and I don't.
There's only a bit of. Don't listen to him. There's only a bit of crime, right? And it's not crime that's like bad. It's just like fraud or something that steals from the government. No one cares about that. So don't even worry about it.
Well,
right?
The giant rat god in the basement that was killing people, and
it's fun crime.
It's just fun crime. It's just a fun kind of crime.
But, yes, apart from the rat god, and
we sorted that, did we not?
Yeah, and the people were being turned into monsters and killing people. We also that was happening as well.
Too, and only one person exploded. So
yeah,
it's all right.
I'm just going to look at Greece and just say she's right. There's not many people explode. It's fine.
It's just like one or two, Greece. Don't worry about it. Just like it's fine.
Is this because you're adventurers and you see weird things? Because
no. This is just It's just Cloud's Cairn. It's a very dangerous place.
Ignore him.
And I think this goes on for a while. And eventually you manage to pull up probably some camping gear from somewhere, where one of the soldiers will probably provide it for you or something along those lines.
Camping?
I don't think anybody wants to be in... Nobody really wants to be in the city right now. Everybody wants to just kind of be out and enjoying themselves, and I think slowly...
Really? No one wants to just hold up in a library?
Well, we haven't built a library yet.
Yeah.
Where's my shade button?
You all settle down for the night, and you can finally take your long rest.
Yay!
Yay! Health.
And for those of you, I don't think I said last week, but they all leveled up. They have all rolled and selected their equivalent bits and pieces, so they are now level 6.
Yay!
I think that's a really good place for us to take a little bit of a break, stretch, visit the loo, get ourselves some drinks, deal with hungry pets.
He's not hungry, he just wants to eat my headphones.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's not hunger, it's just vandalism. Yeah.
Fun crime.
Fun crime. It's fun crime.
Fun crime. Be gay, do crime, be cat.
The other one's very peacefully just been there the whole time.
Oh, amazing. Right. We will be back about 5 o'clock on the nose, I think, today, and we will carry on with this quite chilled episode today after the big battles of the last few weeks. Make sure you stretch, get yourself a drink and the like. Also check out the wonderful people we have in our interval video, who are amazing artists and creatives and people to support. And if you're not already following them, please do consider doing so. We will be back in about 15 minutes, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Cool. Just making sure the stream updates so you can actually see us. There we are. Hello, hi. We are back from our break. We hope that you are as well. That you have managed to do what you need to do and go where you need to go. Makes you stretched. So before our break, our three friends had spent a nice, pleasant evening celebrating their victory, wandering around, catching up with some of the many people whose lives they have touched, who came to help them or they helped by just being on this island. They were introduced to the concept that Rebecca Ryder was a much older person than they had anticipated. The mayor of Clarescone was much more than she had initially seemed. The following morning, you all woken up by camps being broken and soldiers being sort of given orders. There is a small force left behind to help start rebuilding the damaged wall and to provide additional support to Sophis and her people whilst they start to establish themselves in the scattered lands. You can already see some have started working on what looks like a large wooden frame that is clearly designed to be somewhere where people can bridge small skyships to and tether them whilst they're going. You can choose what you want to do. You can travel back with Rebecca Ryder. You can hitch a lift with Julie. You can go back with the Adventurers Guild on the Swallow's Envy, or Eugene's family and extended friends are going to be going back via the twins on the Dragonfly. So entirely up to the three of you. Hang on 1 second. Let's. Okay, we have this again. Hang on 1 second, guys. Ah, dear. Cool. Can you hear Theo? Hello? Bonjour? Uh, no. Can't hear no one else. What is going on? What has happened here, guys? Bear with me one, guys. I have changed nothing. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Hello. Okay. Can you hear anybody now? Still nothing. This is so strange. Okay. I am going to turn back on microphones. Okay. So you can still hear me. So my microphone's coming directly in. So you can hear that. Charlie. Okay. Cool. Hold on. This is very strange. What is going on? It says that it's all updated. Okay. Why does it keep doing this? What is happening?
Strange.
Okay.
They can hear me.
They could
Can
hear
they hear you
now.
Okay. Can you hear them now?
And me.
Yay!
All right, we're all back. Cool.
But is
Seth?
Aisling back? And Charlie?
Charlie, do I make sound?
Do you make
Is it
sense?
audible?
Yay!
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's a bit of a
I was about to
rollercoaster
start
today,
drawing
isn't it?
pictures on my iPad and being like, this is what I'm saying.
Sorry about that, guys. Gremlins happen for some reason a lot today. So
Apparently, we're having sound gremlins today, but it's okay. This happens. If anything changes at all, just let me know.
anyway, yes, I was saying I don't really care who we travel back with. Julie's ship can get a bit crowded, but as long as we get back in time for getting our reward and gift, as Aisling keeps reminding me.
It's well important. It sounds mysterious and exciting, and I want it.
Yeah, I wonder what it is.
Yeah.
Cake, perhaps.
Oh, man, that'd be so good.
If you hear from behind you, I could really kill for cake. Oh, red velvet cake. I've just remembered that I know about red velvet cake. Oh, goodness.
Now I want red velvet cake.
I wonder if the bakers remembered how to bake yet.
Well, go and check and come and tell us if they have.
Yeah.
See
We're
what I can
heroes.
find.
You've got to do that for us.
Yeah, cakes. You need cakes.
So which ship has the most cake? We'll go on that one.
That's a good question.
I feel like Julie's ship's going to have cake, but it's going to be cake that does weird things to you, so I don't trust it.
Or at the very
not
least, it'll be
inaccurate.
purple.
No, I feel that's fair.
See,
I mean,
Well,
now
we
Wayne,
could go on
now
the
Wayne
ship.
wants cake too.
Yeah, so does Dan. We could go on the ship with my family. They said they were going via the twins. My sister makes really good cake.
Okay, that sounds good.
also, I mean, Rebecca Rido is liable to have stores of really nice food. So
That's
logically.
true. Mez
Although
probably have good food.
I would quite like to meet Eugene's sister.
I think so as well.
I mean, we have met the rest of the family now. Wait, are there more family? I don't know.
And made a really good impression.
Just my sister left.
You have grandparents, but you've not seen them for a very long time.
I mean, it's entirely up to Eugene if he wants us to meet his sister and travel with his family. Otherwise, if he doesn't, we can find another way.
Yeah, is that cool? Or do you want like a break
Yeah.
from them?
Yeah, it's fine by me.
Cool, we'll do that then.
Okay. So
Okay.
as he comes back, you see Gris has actually got some pastries, which seem to have come from
Oh,
somewhere.
wow.
Yes.
I can't vouch for all of them. Apparently, the soldier had to steal them from some of your imps. Can you do anything about them, by the way?
Oh, were they still there?
Some of them.
Oh,
I don't think Sothis really wants to be Imp Island.
I didn't like. I'm not.
They're-
I'm not with them.
They literally came from you.
Yeah, I know, but like, I didn't ask them to. It was,
Well, no, I don't.
There's a gentle chuckle in the back of your skull.
Yeah, maybe you could ask your friend if he can.
okay.
Yes, I think we're going to need to chat about that at some point too. But anyway,
It's fine. I talk inside my head this time because I'm learning. And I will, except I'm obviously still doing the gesturing and the facial expressions externally. Dungeon bees. Yeah, I'm going to be like, Alabaster. No.
Oh, yes, hello.
Right, thanks, first of all. Awesome. Loved the whole thing. The little imp things. Great. They're still here.
Oh, they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Nah. Not oh well.
Oh, I suppose you want me to
I
convince him to go.
don't. Yeah,
Look.
I don't think the people here are like super keen on little demon imps being everywhere. I am. I think it's hilarious, but they're finding it a bit weird.
I will tell them to go home if I can. Excuse me a moment and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
What? Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's an 8, and it was so nearly a 1.
You are now exhausted.
Oh, for God's sake!
It drains some energy from you, and you kind of, I think, Rock, you're kind of maybe standing and stretching, and you kind of see one of these imps running past with like a soldier's helm. And the soldier is trying to catch it, and it just suddenly goes and disappears in a little flash of light, and ash just kind of.
Ashling, your imps are exploding.
Yeah, I know. He did it, and he took like all my shit to do it.
Are you
Can we go
okay?
sit down? Yeah, I'm just like well tired. Can we sit down and eat lots of cake, please?
Yes. Well, we can sit. You sit down. Where's Grease with that cake?
Pastries.
He's standing right next to you with the pastries.
I'm going to eat a lot of them.
So, after a little bit of discussion, you find out that the captain of the Dragonfly is not actually heading back to Cloud's Cairn after dropping people off at the Twins. So you'd need to get a different way back, and he doesn't know who's shipping there at the moment. So it probably isn't great for you to go back to Eugene's family right now, but in the future. I mean, I think Eugene's mum is very much a case of, oh, I mean, you're welcome to come and stay with us for a few while, but I think Rebecca and people at Cloud's Cairn probably would like you back as quick as possible. You've got a bit of a report to deliver and things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, that's fair enough.
But once you're done, like Eugene's going to come home for a couple of days, but why don't you two follow along afterwards, or come along later, and we'll have you over for a long weekend or something.
That sounds good.
Well, thank you very much. That's most kind of you to invite us.
Minimal drama. Nice and chill.
No elder gods this time, yes.
No elder gods.
No,
And I got rid of, do you see? I got rid of all the impy things.
Was that you? It was.
Well,
I'd have to admit, like from a personal perspective, I was enjoying it, but I think the people in town will be. And the imps aren't so bad once you get used to them.
No, I thought they were hilarious, but yeah.
It's a bit like
Everyone
Ashling in
else
that sense.
There's a little bit of a wry smile on Eugene's mum's face, and she goes, and on that note, well done, take care of yourself. And she gives Eugene a big hug and a kiss. You hear from top of it, is he heading out? And your dad just boom down the gangplank and just grabs you in a big hug. For those watching on replay, Suze Colleen, our lovely Colleen, has just said, wow, Pocket is huge, Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene Cook's quite familiar.
Your dad sweeps you up in a big hug and kind of pops you down and goes, right, so try not to kill anything big like that again for a while.
Wait, wasn't it a good thing that we killed it?
A really good thing.
Okay.
But your mother's concerned, so.
Right.
And he kind of leans in conspiratorially. I totally would have jumped off the dragon too. And he just kind of ruffles your hair. And kind of they say goodbye and let you make your own way out as their ship gets ready to depart. I think probably the quickest way for you to get back is probably with Rebecca Ryder. I think, unless you want to go back with Julie, who is going back to Clouskern, but she's going to land outside and set up a carnival for a few days.
Yeah, no, we can go with Rebecca. I'll pop over and see Julie later.
I was going to head south to Declan, but here's the Witchlight Carnival is back, so we don't want to tread on their toes.
No, probably best to avoid those.
We're only level 6. We can't do crossovers yet.
God, that is a crossover that definitely would be chaotic.
Oh, my Christ.
God. Anyway. But that's yes, Julie. I mean, we'll see you when you're in Clouskern anyway. Just try not to cause too much trouble.
Free tickets to all of you.
Nice.
I should hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, have you got snail racing?
No. You have any idea how much those snails cost to feed?
Oh yeah, fair enough.
But we have better stories.
Cool. So get present, get reward, go fun carnival.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Rebecca's vessel is bigger than most of the ones you've seen out of Clouskern. It's actually a proper military vehicle as opposed to that, but it does have a number of luxury suites kept built in, obviously for diplomatic missions and talking to people and just for general comfort. And the 2 days back to Clouskern are fairly uneventful. There is a plethora of really good food and pretty much an open bar anytime that you guys need anything. The soldiers are all a little wowed by the three of you. Rebecca, you see her mostly at meals and stuff like that. Other than that, she's fairly sequestered, trying to sort things out and get paperwork sorted out. I think over meals, she picks your brains as much as she can about what happened. Gets a fuller picture of what you went through, what you dealt with, and as you're coming in, she kind of passes notes to a young halfling boy who you realise is one of her secretaries, a file of notes, and she goes, if you can get this bound together as the appearing isle incident when we get back, that would be wonderful. And make sure that you cite our free friends here, where I have noted, and the things that they have suggested happened on that isle, and what we might have to deal with again in the future. Also, cat.
I was so hypnotised watching little Willie getting the massage.
Upon arrival, Rebecca lets you head out on your own. She said, please stop by when you've refreshed and kind of repositioned yourself and kind of got back in touch with the guild and things. Just come to the Citadel. Don't worry about it. They'll let you through, trust me. I'll make sure that the people on the gates are looking for you just when you're ready.
Okay.
Very well.
So, you are back in Clouskern. You are with the familiar hustle and bustle of a busy city. I think as you kind of walk through the streets that you're quite familiar with, really, you kind of do see a few people nudging themselves and kind of like, is that them? For sure. Like, stories of your exploits have obviously got ahead with the other vessels from coming back from the island. There is a general sort of feel of business as normal, although you do notice, make a perception check for me, all three of you.
No. I perceive nothing.
You perceive nothing. You do notice Rock has once again sat in his normal sort of I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing. How about Ashling and Eugene?
Oh, 11.
11?
23.
23. Ashling, you notice that there are a number of people making repairs to several buildings, like structural cracks, and some of the wooden buildings are being repaired and things like that. And I think you're smart enough and wise enough to work out what happened to the island where Vesherin is happened here as well. This island fell.
Oh.
I'm gonna see if I'm just gonna look at my compatriots and see if they've noticed. I think when we were back at that other island and it kind of went.
Yes.
I think that might have happened here too, because there's an awful lot of stuff that people seem to be fixing up and a lot of cracks in places where there weren't before.
And as soon as Ashling points it out, you can see it. There are people repairing buildings. There's broken glass. It's been a couple of days, but it looks like you guys aren't. I mean, for your experience, you wouldn't have seen earthquakes. They don't really exist in the scattered lands as such. Not having an earth to be tethered to, but it is that level of a minor shudder. Of a city that's not prepared for that sort of damage.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen again.
I mean, it was when the Elder God slammed against the Sky Shield, so I am assuming it's a sort of just a one-off.
I mean,
what if it weakened it? Then what?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried
Don't
about.
say things like that. Well, we'd have to find out. Besides, there's nothing we can do. They have people who look after that kind of thing, don't they? I don't know.
Do they?
I don't know. Who runs the Sky Shield?
You guys can all collectively make a history check.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what happened 3 minutes ago.
Tracks.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I don't know what happened, but I suddenly remembered because I rolled a 22.
22.
Yeah, me too, because I rolled a 25.
25.
I got 3.
So, So what you know about the Sky Shield, obviously, is it came into formation as part of the spell that caused the Ascension in the first place. You know that there was originally a guild of mages who created the Sky Shield. But then if things get grey, and even with your high levels of history, you're like, actually, no, it's one of those things that people don't talk about. So if there is an organisation out there, they're not public. If there are people taking care of the Sky Shields, there are no stories that even Rock knows of them working out where people can see them, or even how the Sky Shield is maintained. It's one of those things that's kept, if people know, it's kept from public knowledge.
That seems sus.
Well, I mean, it's always been there, hasn't it? It's been there for centuries, really. So, I mean...
Yeah, but there must be someone... Like, it's imperative that it stays...
Well, yes, but it's
working, so there must be people who are in charge of keeping it working, right?
Well,
Wait,
if the Sky Shields...
It's
fail,
magic, isn't it? I mean, if it's magic, does magic need maintenance? I don't know if you... can you patch up magic?
Well,
I don't
perhaps
know.
not maintenance, but there must be some sort of like contingency for if something were to happen, right?
Like an elder god slamming into it.
Well, I don't think probably anyone was expecting that to happen, but I mean, it's the thing that keeps everything in the sky. There must be it's kind of important.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I feel
it's
like
right.
if that stopped working, it would be bad.
Look, we're not falling for. It's working fine. I'm sure someone's. Actually, we should ask Rebecca. I mean, she's apparently been around for centuries.
I was going to suggest that. Yeah, we'll talk to her.
So, where are you heading? You have a number of places that you know that you can go. The Adventurers Guild, obviously.
Yeah, we've got to report back to the Adventurers Guild, don't we?
Uncle Perb would also like to see you all, and he's probably arrived back by now. And also Rebecca would like to talk to you all at some point. But obviously,
that sounds like a good
give you your
order to do
reward.
things in.
Do you want to do it in that order?
Yeah, sure.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I guess we would go
Yeah.
report back first.
Yeah.
So I think almost by instinct you find your feet going back through the outer edges of the harbour and into the edge of Lowtown.
I give the alleyway where I got rudely kidnapped a big wide berth.
I think you do, and you kind of there's this a young woman coming out of it with some flowers that she's kind of got sorted out, and she kind of gives you a funny look as you kind of just do this whole.
What are you doing?
I'm just like,
Who is that?
I don't know who that was, but that's where
What?
I got nicked, wasn't it?
Yeah, but why were you glaring at that poor woman?
Because she came out of it. I don't trust her.
What? Fine. Let's just
Yeah. I was gonna say it was Mir who kidnapped you directly, and but that's fine. That feels very Ashling to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
You find yourself on Artifact Lane and the very familiar looking Ogre's Rest, which is open, as is always 24 hours a day. Inside is bustling, and you can hear excited murmurs and conversation. And as you step in, there is a raucous applause and shouting and whooping.
Eugene kind of looks behind him to see.
I think all of us do.
Yeah.
Three of you are greeted by what's probably about half of the full members of the Adventurers Guild. This is not the bunch that went to the island. This looks like a bunch that were preparing to come out. And there is shouting and whooping. And in the middle of it, you can see Dietrich sitting, looking proud, sitting proudly, chatting to a couple of people. And Neve behind the bar, even she looks relaxed and happy to see you all. People clap you on the shoulders as you come in, and you're kind of given a table is pulled to one side and let you, and drinks are poured, and lots of questions asked of you about what happened. You were gone for so long. Are you all right? A familiar looking, rock. Perception with advantage.
That's a good thing. Sorry, character sheet.
Right.
18.
18. You do notice a familiar face. The young human who you've known since you joined the guild, the fighter, is there, and he looks a bit different. His hair is a bit longer. It's a bit scruffier around the edges, a bit more weathered, I'd say, a bit more experienced. Because you also notice that he has lost an arm, but
That's not puberty.
does not look like it has slowed him down in the slightest. And he raises, as before, he's always been very enthusiastic and kind of jabbered at you. He raises a mug in like a solidarity sort of thing, and just like a nod of appreciation. You were always slightly his hero, and I think you see a sort of slight relief in seeing you back.
Oh, but I shall definitely sort of raise my drink to him, and once everything has died down, I'll go and probably say hello to him.
This is probably the first time you've had a proper conversation with him. His name is Mardik. And apparently he lost his arm in a fight with a rock. The mission that you guys were possibly going to take to go out to the lighthouse, he and his crew took. And it ended up being much more complicated than they anticipated.
Okay.
But he's not angry or bitter about it at all. He's very much, this is my life now. I like my job, and I like who I am, and I love my people around me. It just meant I had to spend some time readjusting and learning how to use the sword properly again.
Well, yes, I'll just have a sort of general chat with him and just make sure that he is kind of acknowledged. And
I think there's a number of people who he seems quite well liked in the guild. You get the impression, you're talking around and listening, he stayed in the guild whilst he recovered and learnt how to fight again, and he became a bit of a stalwart. He and his crew are well liked, and his crew waited. They did small jobs here and there, but they waited for him before they carried on. So you guys spend a few hours there. Dietrich comes over at one point and shoos people away. Right, well, from my perspective, you don't have anything that you need to do with me. Just need to distribute the... make sure the contract is closed with Rebecca once you have an opportunity to do so. But I am very glad to see all of you back. You had us worried, you know.
well, I think as we mentioned, we just thought it was a few days. So
Understandable. Much bigger than we anticipated. We will definitely be charging Rebecca more in the future, particularly for these sorts of things.
wait, what, you mean there are more floating islands?
Well, there's always weird mysteries to be solved, but
Okay, can we not do the next one for a while? If that's all right?
I mean, I've got two.
No.
I'm joking. I'm joking. You three need a rest and a chance to recenter, and when you are ready to come back to work, you let me know. Not the other way around.
Thank you.
But there are always contracts here for you.
Yeah.
Some of my brightest. Lets you to drinks and like. After a couple of hours, you things die down. A few people go off to work and do other things, and kind of let you to your devices, and you find yourself at a quiet lull where it's probably easy to slip away if you need to.
But we were going to see your uncle next, weren't we, Eugene?
So your uncle did actually press an address into your hand, and it's actually in the High Spire, relatively close to the citadel itself, actually, on a large open road with some very nice-looking shops and townhouses on it. And your uncle's townhouse, which you've never been to before, but he's always talked of very fondly, is a grey stone building. Looks about 4 stories high, with terracotta tiles and blue sash windows set in, which with just enough magic to kind of stop people looking into the house, but not block light coming in. You are greeted by a large iron fence with little arcane symbols at the top, which they're nonsense arcane, like they're made to look like it, but actually not do anything.
Like those fake security cameras. That you can get.
Exactly, yeah. More of a deterrent. As soon as you step across the threshold, however, I think the three of you can taste the magic in the air as the real defences behind the gate are there. Not effective against you and not to stop people from coming up to the house, just to stop people trying to break windows and the like. You climb up the stone steps and there's a large pulley and a big oak door.
I ring the pulley immediately.
You don't hear anything from inside.
I ring it again.
Yeah.
Why can't I hear the bell? I think it's broken.
Can't hear you, Brain.
No, that was my fault. Sorry that time.
Yeah, so Aisling is pulling the bell, and from behind you, you hear, "Thank you, madam. That will be as we can hear you. It's just designed that way."
Yeah, I thought it was broken because I couldn't hear it.
You turn around, and there is a burly-looking dwarf in like quite nice clothes. Are you here to see Master Perp?
Yeah, I think he's expecting us.
Oh, you must be young Eugene.
Yes, that's me, and these are my friends.
I am Bordis. I take care of the house when your uncle is not here.
Oh, he is here right now, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I also take care of the house when he is here.
Right.
And he walks past you and he doesn't bring out a key, but he just presses his thumb against the huge brass knob in the center of the door, and it just swings slowly inward. And you are greeted by a house that is ever so slightly larger on the inside than it appears on the outside.
What's that about?
With like white and black tiles leading up to a really brightly lit, really nicely decorated hallway and sweeping steps. Please come in.
I'm just going to say to Eugene quietly, well, this is very grand, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never been here, but I imagined it would be like this, honestly. He is quite extravagant.
Just so I can see.
Bordius leads you through into a large lounge room with high back chairs in like a grey felt, and like a roaring fireplace that doesn't actually give off any heat at the moment. Looks like it's just for design.
Ornamental fire.
An ornamental fire.
Brilliant.
Wizards, hey? I shall let the master know that you have returned, that you have arrived, and he shall be with you shortly. Excuse me. Do any of you require any refreshment? Something to eat?
No, I think I'm fine for now, thank you.
I could take some tea.
Yeah,
Tea?
yeah, tea. And any confectionery-based stuff you might have lying around.
Absolutely splendid. What types of tea do you like?
Big.
Earl Grey for me, please.
Earl Grey? And
Yeah, that. I'll have that as well.
Bows ever so slightly and leads you to it. And it's not long
Aisling
before...
awkwardly bows back. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's all way too posh.
There is quite a tingle in the air and a sound. And a door that you hadn't noticed before opens to the side of the room, revealing a magic circle behind and your Uncle Perp. In the same garb that you saw him on the island. I haven't sort of changed yet. You kind of get the impression that he probably zipped back here straight from there when you had arrived. So kind of made you go the long way round whilst he was doing other things.
And he just used a portal whatever.
Use a magic circle to get back. Closes the door behind him. Ah, there you are. Have you ordered tea? Please tell me you asked for the Earl Grey.
Yeah.
Good. Kath makes the best Earl Grey. Do not touch her Darjeeling. She tends to oversteam steam the leaves.
Oh no!
Don't tell her I said that. He kind of plops himself down in a chair. Well, that was an adventure, wasn't it?
You're telling me.
Yeah, but were you on the dragon too?
No. I leave that to the younger adventurers than I. That's for you young folk to deal with. I tend to just support these days. My dragon jumping days are well over.
Oh, so it's a family thing then, is it?
You do remember his father fought the dragon Tharkus? Yes, that is a thing. It's still a thing, isn't it? I think that's still a thing. I mean, I'm still dining out on that, so it's still a thing.
I had heard some stories about his father. He's done some things, I believe.
Yes. Well, what do you think of the house?
Oh, it's very impressive.
Good.
It's beautiful, yes.
Glad you all like it, because it's yours.
What?
I beg your pardon.
Well,
Nah, this
indirect.
is your house.
Nope, I am signing it over to Eugene, actually. You are going to go up in the world very quickly shortly, and having somewhere that's a bit more secure than the Adventurers Guild is probably a wise idea. I don't need this old place as much as I used to, and I was always planning on handing it to Eugene one day. It seems like the perfect day. Obviously, I will still pop back when I need to, but to all intents and purposes, this is your house, Eugene.
Bloody hell, Eugene!
Is his butler manservant in the room?
Bordius is not in the room at the moment.
Okay.
But you kind of do hear a big thumping sound.
Yeah, I am
Picturing, sorry, down the corridor, I'm picturing hearing the sounds of the butler from Tomb Raider just going.
Stuck in the fridge again.
Get him trapped in the fridge. He can fart himself all he wants in there.
Imagine I'm stuck in the fridge again. I will. I'm just going to say, excuse me 1 second, and just stick my head where they went in that direction towards the kitchen and just yell, I will have some, perhaps some wine, thanks. And then come back and say, sorry. You were saying you've just given Eugene a house?
Yes.
I don't think I can accept a whole house. What?
And
Don't
it's
think of
like
it
a
this way.
real nice house.
Yes, you can. You can.
Think of it this way. It's yours to stay at when you are in the city.
Okay. Yes.
We don't
I
have
can
to.
deal with that.
We don't have to clean it, do we?
Well, that's what Bordeus is for.
Do we get him too?
And Kath.
Who's Cass?
Bordeus is on my employ and will continue to be in my employ as he's very trustworthy and very capable. And he kind of listens, and there's that thumping sound is getting much closer. I think you're about to meet Kath. And as you look up, a huge androgynous figure, about 8 foot tall, carved from heavy obsidian with a glowing set of yellow eyes and different gemstones sort of attached to their body, kind of ducks through the door, and they are holding a large silver tray with a bottle of wine, a weaker sort of day wine, like a sort of fruity wine.
Day wine.
A day
A light
wine.
selection of breakfast wines.
And
Yeah.
2 teapots and a selection of small confectionaries, minor little pastries and things.
Moose bushes.
She
So to be fair, surely in her hands everything looks like mini pastries.
She reaches down, picks up a foot, like a small table, plonks it in the middle, and puts it on, goes, and in a deep, rumbling voice, they say, I hope these are to your liking. Is there anything else you need?
Are you Kath?
I am indeed Kath, and you must be Aisling.
Yeah.
And you must be
You're
Rock.
really pretty.
Thank you. You are beautiful as well.
Oh.
And you must be Master Yuji. It will be my pleasure to assist you in any way I can.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And she bows, goes, I will take my leave now, and gently steps through and leaves you to
Aisling's
it.
obsessed with how cool she is. They are, sorry. Just like...
You've not seen a Sidoric before.
What?
Not
They are not...
in reality, in books, perhaps.
I've read about them, certainly.
Ashling's benefit. They're a race of artificial people created a long time ago, long before Ascension. There are very few of them left, and those that are tend to like quiet lives. I found Kath, well, your father, and he nods to Eugene, and I found Kath protecting a temple stuck with a control rod that forced her to protect a dead wizard who had been gone for a long time. It took us a long time to break that spell. Afterwards, she decided she wanted to stay with us. She seems to like taking care of things, so I asked her if she minded, and she chose to stay with the house. But she will be here to keep things in order and extra bit of muscle if anybody tries to break in.
I think we need to come back to the house thing. But while we're here, very quick question: who looks after the Sky Shield?
That is a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, kind of, let's see now. And kind of weaves his fingers in a hand, in a motion, and a mage hand appears, floats over to a bookshelf, pulls off a couple of books, and floats it back to him. The thing is, it's a question some of us have been asking ourselves recently. There used to be a council of magi, but since Imperial expansion, we haven't heard hide or tell of them for 200 years. We assume that they're still operating somewhere in some capacity, but in secret.
You're just assuming?
Well, after the recent events, and it kind of motions to the window, as you probably saw on your way up here, and from the reports I'm getting, we probably want to make sure we find them. But he kind of clips the books together and passes them to Rock and Eugene.
I pass it immediately to Eugene.
These are books on the history of Ascension and events around that.
I feel like Rock's like, oh, no, thank you.
Rock's like, oh, that's very interesting. Could you just tell me, like, give me a summary? I just...
The TLDR.
Yeah.
Once you've caught up with Rebecca, I'm probably going to have a chat with her myself about what we can do to see if we can find these magi.
So for 200 odd years, we're not sure anyone's been looking after this. Is it generated somewhere? Is there like a Sky Shield generator of some sort?
Unfortunately, all those sorts of secrets were kept for us for the time being, but I'm looking into it. It's certainly large on our attention at the moment. And I tell you what, you might be able to help me with that in the near future.
Let us know if there's anything we can do.
If that's all right with you, Rock, you appear to be pulling a face.
Well, no, I was
Just his face.
Yeah, he's quite often pulling.
How rude.
Yeah.
Well, no, it had just occurred to me that for my entire life I have noticed and known of and lived beneath the sky shield, and I have never thought about what's keeping it up there. And now that I am, it's really quite an alarming thought that we don't know.
Yes, and that worries me as well, because you're not the only person having those thoughts right now. So we want to get ahead of it before other people start poking their noses into it and possibly making it worse.
Or perhaps before people start panicking, because I have to be honest, that's probably where I'm going the more I think about it.
Well, at the moment we're spreading, it was simply a direct result of the destruction of the Elder One.
Well, I mean, that is true, isn't it? Nothing else caused it to drop.
We hope not, but we are going to look heavily into why that happened and try and stop it from happening again.
Good. Great. So, I feel much better.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a key ring with 3 gold keys on it and passes it to Eugene. 1 for each of you. Once you have had it on your person for 24 hours, all you need to do is just press your thumb to the knob on the front and it will open for you.
That's very clever. I did like that. That's
cool.
Are there the kind of got the feeling there's quite a lot of magic going on? Anything else we need to be aware of? Booby traps, trapdoors, wards that explode? Anything?
No, you should be able to pass through with those keys with no problem. They're generally to keep people, like things like people trying to break and enter, think otherwise of it, accidental damage by like bird strike and the like just doesn't happen. It's mostly just
door-to-door salesmen.
If they press more than once, they're turned into a toad for an hour.
Oh, cool. Do we get to keep the toad?
There's a whole garden at the back was full of toads.
Oh, nice. Love toads.
No, we don't get many door-to-door salesmen up here.
I suppose in this neighborhood.
Tin hats have a tendency to push them away. So,
any cultists? Do they get turned into newts? Or
the Smiths at number 59 are a bit dodgy, I'm sure, but I'm not entirely convinced they're a cult yet.
All right, I'll put that top of my to-do list. Investigate. Right, cool.
So, how many rooms are there in the house? It seems rather large, and oddly larger. Anyway, yes.
How many do you need?
What?
It's a
Eugene.
house, guys.
Yeah, but like, what?
Are you familiar with the spell Magnificent Mansion?
Yes.
No, I'm afraid.
Obviously you are.
I am unaware of that. I mean, I've heard of it, obviously, but for you, for Ashling's sake, if you wouldn't mind just explaining what that means.
The internal parts of this house are actually a demi-plane created by a powerful magical spell. That, unlike the normal magical mansion, this one is rooted into this building itself. Whilst you are within this building, you may, Eugene as well, may, to a certain extent, alter the aesthetic and arrangement of the building. It just takes some concentration, and overnight the house will grow a new room or lose a wing if you need it to.
But just Eugene, or
primarily Eugene, but Eugene can give permission if you have something in particular in mind that you wish.
I have enough self-awareness to suggest maybe you don't give me that ability.
Let's say, you can't take this one with you, I'm afraid. You would need to learn the spell yourself to be able to cast it out in the wild. Rock, your type of magic tends to lend to this sort of thing quite well as well. But, whilst you're in Cloud's Cairn, this one is available for your use.
That is the coolest thing. Wow.
Well, that's most surprising and very generous of you.
Yeah, thank you.
I
A
can't have
homeowner in
my.
my 20s. Who'd have thought it?
You can tell it's a
hard to
fantasy
believe.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is real.
What a world we're living in.
If ever we had,
Racism.
if ever we had any doubt that this wasn't real, although to be fair, like in real life, the only way you do that is through inheritance.
Fair. Having a rich uncle who just decides to give you a house, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I would have a think whilst you can, Eugene, about spaces for yourselves. My my laboratory will stay off limits for now, not because I don't trust you, but because there are some powerful things in there that are probably just best left alone.
That sounds wise.
A library. Do you have a library?
Of course, yes.
A library.
And now it's your turn to you.
His
Oh,
eyes
Eugene,
will go wild.
you have your own library now. Does that mean you don't have to carry all those books around all the time?
Well, no, I still need books. I mean, otherwise, how would I read them while I'm not here?
Need a
That
fancy
reminds
Kindle.
me. At some point, you're going to need to upgrade some of your equipment, and he kind of starts writing a quick letter. Pulls out a quill and paper out of nowhere. Let's see now. At the end of the street, turn right, and at about 2 blocks over is a relatively nondescript shop that I think that you all will rather enjoy. Tell the owner that I sent you, and he should give you some good rates.
Nice. Thank you. Got a house and coupons. It's a good day. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just going to pull up some details. So, the description you're given is actually a magic shop, which I think, Rock, if you've kind of explored this city more than anybody else, you've heard of it. You've not been there. It's Loot's Odd Shop. And it has a reputation of being a quirky place, but a fun place to buy magical items from.
And do we ask for anyone particular?
Oh, Loot will greet you. I'm sure.
Very well. Very well. I've seen that.
And you can't miss him. To be fair, he is quite the character.
I mean, the shop's a little underwhelming from the outside, but I've heard very good things about it. So
You've probably not been in yet, have you?
no.
Yeah. Looks can be very deceiving, and I think that's the way Loot likes it.
It just can be very handy to have people underestimate you.
Yes, quite. I mean, look at what happened with someone who underestimated you.
Well, they trapped us on an island.
And then you killed them.
Smash them into a sky shield.
I mean, I'm not one to share the limelight, but we did have the help of 2 dragons.
Yeah, and we rode one of them.
Exactly.
Well, some of us rode one.
People
Others
won't-
fell from one.
Yeah.
People
I
will remember the dragons, but
jump.
they will also remember you were on the back of one of them.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, we were very good.
Exactly. Right. Do you need a lift to the Citadel?
A lift?
Yes.
What? There's another dragon?
No. It kind of opens, gets up from his little seat and waddles over to the door that he came in through. I meant a lift.
Oh, through the magic circle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There is a magic circle in the Citadel which Rebecca has given certain wizards the right to use.
Oh, she's going to regret that once we move in here.
Well, you can't use it. I mean, you don't know the spell. But
No.
once you learn it, if you ask her nicely, she will give you access, I'm sure.
I very much doubt that, but sure. We'll give it a go.
Right. Stand here. It kind of points to places on the circle. Eugene, make a mental note of the symbols around here. You'll probably want to come back here at some time.
Okay. He gets his notebook out.
And after you've finished jotting down the symbols that you need to, Perb pulls up his sleeves, weaves a symbol in the air, which hovers for a second, and then a gold portal appears above you all. Very similar to Eugene's, actually, the one you've seen, but like edged with like a yellow sparkling gold as opposed to the purple, lilacly pink that Eugene has. And it descends upon you, and as it does, you find yourself in a different room. A stone room with a sleepy-looking Fearbog in heavy armour who's leaning on a spear and kind of jumps up and then kind of points the spear at you. Tithing Perv, welcome back, sir. Should I let Rebecca know that you are here? He goes, no, I'm going to take our young charges up directly. Carry on. As you were. So, welcome back to the Citadel. Kind of leads you up. And you're in the basement area beneath the island itself, and it seems quite far down. You can go past some strange offices that you've not even seen before. A lot more military-looking people, a lot more tin hats here. Almost like they're protecting a lot of things that they don't want to get out. Just want to keep an eye on. And he takes you up through the Citadel, through passages you've not seen, into the public areas you've been before, and to an office that is off the back of the meeting rooms that you first came to when you first met Rebecca, and you saw your friend, the sergeant, be promoted. He knocks on the door, and Rebecca's voice asks you all to come in, and you step in. She is behind a heavy oaken desk, piled with paperwork, writing off some forms, and goes, they let me know that you had arrived. Thank you. Excellent. Well, she goes, well, should we make this official then? And she stands up, and she's back in her normal mayor's garb with the long robe decoration, and she steps through. Sergeant Grimm, if you would bring the reward for our champions, please. Sergeant Grimm reappears, and he kind of looks at you and he smiles. Like, he's not an easy. He hasn't easy. This man's never had an easy smile, but he seems so much more relaxed around you all.
Rock. Yeah.
Your mayorship, as requested, and he has like a large red cushion with 3 packets on it, which he presents to put on the desk. So, for the duty and going well beyond what we actually expected of you, I believe that the additional payment should be extended to 1,000 gold each. You're muted again. Wayne.
Yeah, I don't hear Wayne.
That seems fair.
That's pretty accurate.
In addition, 1,000 gold each. Yes, Aisling. It's I know it's a lot of money, but I think you have more than earned it in this instance.
Well, yes, I think that's very well deserved. Yeah.
As an additional thank you, I would like to appoint you as champions of Klaus Kern. This allows you certain political statement, hand waving. You can get assistance from council members where you can on a more regular basis, and people will recognize and probably afford you some support in the city itself, as well as representing us further afield when you need to. But and she kind of reaches out and pulls out a pack. It also comes with certain gifts that are yours to keep. And she hands a large pack to Rock.
Oh, thank you.
A very different looking long pack to Eugene. And a smaller but quite firm pack to Aisling.
How I like them.
Please feel free to open them. These are yours.
Sorry.
I'll ignore that.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. I might even clip it.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So you can each open the packs that you've been given. Rock. Inside is a beautiful set of studded leather armor.
Ooh.
And a rapier with draconic along the side. Says Dancer. This is a glamoured studded leather. It's a +1 armor, and when you are wearing it, you can whisper a word to it as an action, and it will change its appearance to look like something else you want.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! That's the coolest. You need to update your character art now.
That's amazing.
The sword is a dancing rapier.
Ooh. What does
You
that
can go through that, but effectively, when you call its name, it will act of its own free will, attacking people for you and being able to move away from you independently. If you want to use it on your own, it is a +1 rapier.
It's a Fantasia rapier.
Eugene, your pack is actually wrapped in itself. Is a long cloak made from a really fine silk, inlaid with silver runes which glimmer ever so slightly as you kind of turn it in the light. This is a cloak of protection, giving you an increased +1 to your armor class.
Oh, cool.
Yay!
Hallelujah!
It is
Let's
wrapped
fishy.
around a white oak staff, etched with symbols attaching itself to Sister Sun, wilted, written up and carved into a beautiful owl whose tail feathers look like they become part of the branch itself. This is a Sky Blinder's staff. If you use it as a reaction, you can blind creatures that are trying to attack you from the air. In addition to that, you can use it to focus your magic, and it counts as a +1 staff. Aisling, you also have a cloak of protection, but yours is a mossy green. And the runes are fey in their nature, and it's trimmed with this nice green webbing just at the edge. Very Aisling. Kind of looks a little more from a distance. It looks like it's like intentionally sort of tatty at the edge, but it's not. It's really beautifully
Rustic
designed.
chic.
Yeah. And it is wrapped around a book which says on the front, in common, Feather's Book of Endless Notes. when you open it, you realize that the pages just go on and on and on and on and on and on. This is a homebrewed magical item for you specifically. This book never runs out of pages. It
That's
is
deadly.
over 1,000 years old and has the sum total of the knowledge of all its owners within it. So you would be contributing to that. If you spend 10 minutes with it before you make a history or arcana check, you may do so with advantage.
That's so good.
In addition, any notes you put into it add to the ongoing collection of knowledge that this book is.
That's amazing.
Very cool. That's very cool. Human Charlie wants that.
Yeah.
And for those of you who like little Easter eggs and that, Feather is my brother's first roleplay character.
Aww.
Aw.
So this is a nod to him. So there you go. I am eternally grateful. And she kind of gives Herb a quick look. There are a lot of things in the world right now which need people like you to help with. And I am absolutely certain in the future I will be calling upon you again. But for now, you have earned a rest and some relaxation. So take yourself at ease and enjoy the esteemed position you find yourself in.
Well, thank you. That's
We're homeowners now, so.
A rare thing in this day and age.
the champions thing. Do we get like a badge or something?
Oh yes,
Yeah, do we
they
get, like,
were.
a medal?
You all have a silver badge with the symbol of Cloud's Cairn, which was actually, I should have mentioned that, was fastening the objects together.
Oh, hell.
Cool.
And Rock puts it on immediately.
Suits you.
Well, yes, of course it does.
So, Rebecca kind of gets you to kind of officialize some reports that afternoon. Just jot down a couple of notes, double check some of the things that she collected, make sure she's got it right. It's not the most exciting thing, but it's very necessary. The contract is signed off and passed back to you to return to the Adventurers Guild to show that you actually have been paid. And you are free agents. For the next few days, you enjoy some relaxing time in the new mansion. Herb comes and goes, seems to be spending a lot of time up at the Citadel right now. About 2 days in, I think Eugene decides probably time to go back home and see his parents. He goes on his own for this time, but as sort of stated before by his mother, you're all very welcome in the future. And
before Eugene goes, Rock makes sure that the house has a spa room and hot tub in it.
Yes.
And spends most of the time while Eugene is away in the spa room or lounging or wandering around the house trying to find what secret doors and rooms he hasn't found yet.
I think Aisling uses the spa room a lot as well, but she sheds, so she kind of has to remove some turquoise hair every now and then.
And every now and then you just hear Rock as he enters the spa room go, Aisling!
Oh, I cleaned it up. I put it on the wall in a little bundle.
Oh!
God,
I can't live like this.
Yeah, and I think you're slowly getting used to being there, and Bordis and Kath make your settling in very easy. Kath is the most relaxed person you could hope to meet. She has.
I think Aisling hangs around with her a lot.
Yeah, she's just very chill again, much like Orihim. Actually, that sort of.
I think that's why Aisling's drawn to
Yeah.
it. And just how friggin' cool they look.
Yeah, just absolutely huge, like obsidian golem with beautiful amber eyes, all gemstones. And next we meet our friends will be probably a few days on the day of Eugene's return. But for now, this adventure has found a place to relax. As our would-be adventurers have become accidental heroes.
We found the team name.
Accidental heroes.
Yeah.
If you want to call yourself that, that's perfect.
I feel like me and Aisling were jotting down ideas for team names. And none of them were good.
So, entirely up to you how you want to describe Eugene. You have main control. So the three of you can have a chat about what you want to do with rooms and space and stuff like that. If there's anything you want to set up within the mansion. We will pick up from next week with Aisling and Rock coming to meet Eugene from their home trip. And we will start a brand new adventure with new exciting things from there.
Amazing!
Yay!
Cool!
Got
Thank
a
you.
freaking house.
You got a freaking house.
And armor and stuff.
Yeah.
And money.
And money. Oh, yeah.
We get to go shopping, right?
Magic
Yeah.
shop visit next week,
Yeah.
please. Thank you.
Yeah. There should be time for those sorts of things as well, definitely. This was a much more chilled episode. We worked out there were 9 episodes on the Appearing Island.
I didn't realise it was that many, yeah.
Wow.
If you count today's as well. So that's been
crazy.
a huge story and really, really good. It was really nice to find a good way to quietly close it down for you all and things like that. This has been a lot of fun. I've really loved this story arc and being able to. Feels like a nice episode to close it up on. So, I am going to get my lovely cast of people to say where you can find them, what they're up to, and how you can support them. And I'm going to start with our wonderful Charlie. The other way.
The thing like, which way is he pointing?
And I still got it wrong. Charlie, tell us where we can find you and how we can help.
All my stuff is on charlievince.com. My Charlie spelt without an E. And all my social media links and portfolio and shop and everything are on there. I haven't got much exciting stuff coming up, apart from I am running a meetup event in a few days' time, which sold out really quickly. So thank you if any of you got tickets to that, and I will see you there. Oh yeah, Thea's coming. It's gonna be good. Yeah, that's about it. And this episode has been so nice and chill, and I can't wait to decorate this house. I want to make it in Sims. Okay, that's what I'm doing this evening.
Yes.
Yeah, if any of you have got what's the island adventure on the Nintendo Switch? Brain just gone.
What,
Lots of animals you can build.
Animal Crossing?
That's a good place to design these sorts of things.
Oh,
I'm on
that'd be
it.
so cute. Okay, cool. Also, thank you, Chris. This has been friggin' fun as hell. Lovely episode. You're a champion.
My absolute pleasure. I love roleplay episodes. They're really, really cool. And it gives a chance to see a little bit more about your characters and how they're feeling and how they're doing, which is important. Wayne, would you tell us where we can find you and what you're up to?
Sure.
We can help.
Bless you, kitty cat. Yes, you can find me pretty much on all the socials as WayneFic01. And I'm not up to very much apart from working hard behind the scenes on some of the heroes and client work and stuff. And don't forget, please, on Tuesday is our next episode of The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. which will be a lot of fun. So yeah, please join us on Tuesday from 6 o'clock. We would really love to have you there. It's going to be fun. And I just wanted to say thank you to our friends from Wicked Game again, and from Dice and a Slice, and for being in the chat and supporting us as always. And thank you to everyone who regularly pops in to watch us. It honestly means so much, and we do appreciate you. So thank you very, very much. And please let people know about us and share our stuff if you can, because we would love to.
We're like
to-
only a few
to do
away
this.
from 100 followers.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have 93
weirdly.
of you on Twitch now, and if we're going to do a push, because we'd really like to get 100 before the end of March. That would be amazing. So if there's anyone you know who you think would enjoy our shenanigans and that, let them know, because we'd love to take them along this journey with you. Eugene, tell us what you're up to, where you are.
Or Theo, you mean?
Eugene and Theo are the same person.
Sorry.
I love it.
I
Can't
am
deal
so
with this
sorry,
constant
Theo.
calling out. Yes, I am Theo.
You are Theo.
You can find Theo on the internet at theoblueillustration.com. This is Ollie. Yes. Sorry,
hi,
this is so
Ollie.
distracting. What am I doing?
Yes, you
At the
too.
end of the month, on the 26th and 27th, I believe, I will be at MegaCon in Birmingham at the NEC. So if you are going to that, then come see me and say hello, and maybe buy some cool things. Yeah, that's.
Aren't you streaming tomorrow?
Oh yes, I'm streaming tomorrow. I am streaming tomorrow with the lovely Purapi, who has graced our stream before for our Halloween
Yay.
episode. I am going to be guest on her stream tomorrow at 2. I will put a link in the chat to her channel, and you should follow her on Twitch anyway, because she's a great artist and she streams every week. So
Yeah, we like Pura. She's
Yeah.
lovely. So things for me, obviously Wayne mentioned Wild Beyond the Witchlight this Tuesday. Also, our friends at Wicked Games start their brand new campaign this Wednesday.
Yay!
We are super excited for them.
It's
They're
so
going back to
cool.
school. Well, they're going back to college, Magic College to be specific, to expand out the existing lore that Lydia has put down in an exciting new adventure with
It looks so
sculpture and
good.
school shenanigans. We're really excited for them.
Please go and watch their intro video for the campaign. It's absolutely
so
brilliant,
cool.
and it's so exciting.
Beautiful. We're very envious, and we totally are going to be riffing on that some point in the future, I'm sure. Also, if you haven't listened to it already, and you should have done, the Andromeda adventure, the crossover with Wicked Game and Dice and the Slice, Unheard adventure has just started. First episode dropped last Monday, and the continuing adventures of Andromeda's friends is also going out on their regular podcast. If you're not following these people, you really should. Love their adventures. It's whimsical in a very different way to us, and just full of the right level of chaos and joy. And Josh and Alicia work so tirelessly behind the scenes trying to get everything sorted out, and they're amazing people. So big love for them. As for me, my commissions are still open. If anybody is looking for some character art, please do come and drop me a direct message. You can do so on either my Instagram or my Twitter. My Twitter is @ChrisMephamRPG, which is just below me here. And my Instagram is @ChrisMephamArt. Other than that, and being back on Tuesday, there isn't a lot else I'm up to right now. But we will, well, that was us. We're some other heroes. We love you very much. We loved this episode. It was so much fun to do something a bit more chilled with you.
Hi, Mum. Love you, Mum.
Hi, Charlie's mum. Hi, Colleen's mum.
Hi, Colleen's
Hi,
mum.
Colleen's mum.
And hi, Colleen, as well. We have been some other heroes. We love you all very much. Take care of each other. Keep each other smiling. It's very rough out there at the moment, so anything you do to protect each other in this space, means a lot. So we love you a lot.